one bowl week.
Hope you enjoyed that, Thrillo. Now welcome to beautiful San Diego. Wedged between Christmas and New Year's, the aptly named Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, where it's Pac-10 versus Big 12. A long history in this bowl game of high-scoring contests and high drama.
3 seconds left. McMahon throwing for the end zone. Receivers are there. Defenders are there. Touchdown, Brigham Young!
He might go! Sanders easily. First down. Touchdown! And that's number 5. The underdog Red Raiders. Touchdown to Jared Hicks. Deep throw. There's the catch. Touchdown, Texas Tech. Mack down to the goal line. Touchdown!
Tonight, California is hungry to rewrite its Holiday Bowl history, led by a speedy trio. Returner receiver Deshaun Jackson, Conference Defensive Player of the Year corner Damian Hughes, and the Superback, the Offensive Pac-10 Player of the Year Marshawn Lynch. Texas A&M is here because of a classic drive against its arch-rival Texas. Texas A&M and Cal, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, now. Welcome to San Diego in the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. A beautiful evening here. The seats of Qualcomm Stadium are full. The Aggies and all their pageantry in town, representing the Big 12 against the Pac-10 co-champion California Golden Bears. Attractive Pac-10 versus Big 12 matchup. We hope your bowl season is going well. Chris Fowler along with Kirk Herbstreit, and greetings from San Diego here. This has been a real good matchup of these two conferences in this game. The Big 12 has won 5 out of the 7 meetings. The Pac-10 off to a rough start in this bowl season, but Cal says they are motivated. Forget 2 years ago when they got snubbed by the BCS, came down here and got worked over by Texas Tech. Tedford says different story this time.
Well, I think that's the motivation, Chris, and talking to their players and their coaches is 2 years ago when they got snubbed. I think they did come down here. They lost their focus, so they're using that as motivation. But as you said, losing 2 of their last 3, there's a bad taste in their mouths with the way this great year of winning 9 games finished, and they want to finish off the 06 season the right way by winning this bowl game.
Their offense has really struggled in the last 3 games, and yeah, they did go from being in contention for the national title, lost to Arizona, Rose Bowl, lost to USC, squeaked by Stanford. We'll see how they play tonight. Texas A&M, when they show up, you know it's going to be a close game. Franchione has aged about 15 years this season. 9 games decided by a touchdown or less. They're just a few points from perfection, but they also had to squeak out some tight wins like Army, for example.
Well, Coach Fran is still the building process of this program. The win that they had against Texas to end the regular season did so much to lift the spirits of this program. They've got 17 starters returning next season. They want to use this bowl game as a springboard into that 2007 season. This is a big opportunity for them.
So it's the muscle of the Aggies, the speed of the Golden Bears, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl from San Diego when you come back.
ESPN College Football, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl is brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Back in San Diego, just about set for kickoff, the Golden Bears and the Aggies. Dennis Franchione began this 4th season at A&M on something of a hot seat. But this team, although he's still trying to assemble the talent to make a title run, certainly has played hard and played together. With more on that, we welcome in Aaron Andrews.
Chris, Dennis Franchione has said his quarterback, Stephen McGee, he has taken this leadership of this team under his arm, and an example of that is prior to the season, McGee went to a local hardware store and he purchased a 140-foot chain, something like this, and he cut it into 12-link pieces. The 11 representing the team, and the 12th, of course, the 12th man for Texas A&M. He passed him out to players, to coaches, to the support staff. His message, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it together. No individual link stands out on its own, and for us to get where we need to go, we need to pull this chain in the same direction.
And he has been pulling the wagon there. Stephen McGee, the sophomore quarterback for Franchione, who has so much belief in this young guy. Kirk, he's a true blue Aggie believer. He just loves the school. His favorite toy growing up, he said, an A&M uniform.
Well, yeah, you're talking about a coach and Dennis Franchione who has a quarterback. When you have a quarterback that's lived his entire life with a dream of playing for that school, and then all of a sudden he gets out there as a sophomore, you know that he's going to provide that kind of leadership.
Jeff Tedford's offense will get the football first. The Golden Bears winning the toss, and they will receive the kick from freshman Matt Szymanski. Damian Hughes, the speedy corner, the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year, number 13, a dangerous returner, as is the tailback, Justin Forsett. Szymanski, known for his strong leg, boots it out the back of the end zone. So the Bears will begin at the 20. It's a season that ended with a Pac-10 co-championship for Cal. They had their highest preseason ranking since 1952, but that came crashing down on Rocky Top as the Volunteers blew them out. A rough start for Nate Longshore. He would get it going. They won 8 in a row, beat Oregon, beat UCLA, then they would lose to Arizona and USC. Marshawn Lynch did lead the Pac-10 in rushing. He's a junior who perhaps would come out making this his last college game. And again, that offense, Kirk, sputtered a bit in the last 3 games against Arizona, SC, and Stanford. It's Lynch taking the handoff on the first play, testing the left side, and a strong stand by Cyril Obrazor, the defensive end. Nate Longshore, the quarterback, introduces the Golden Bears offense.
Starting off is the most talented wide receiver core in all of America. And then in the backfield, we have the Marshawn Lynch making plays left and right. And up front, we have the offensive line, the best looking guys this side of the Mississippi. And those uniforms, they're good looking, so don't lie to yourself.
You think? Those are the alternate unis. They've worn them a couple of times this year. 2-0 in the gold top blue pants.
Don't lie to yourself.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
That's right.
Lynch got a yard, and now they'll hand it to the junior again. Weaves for about 7 yards. Marcus Thornton on the stop. Melvin Bullitt introduces the Aggie defense.
Starting with the defensive line, number 92, the hammer, Chris Harrington. Moving on the linebackers, we got number 10, the freak, Justin Warren. You can call him Lights Out. Moving up to the DBs, we got the freshman phenom, Jordan Peterson, number 27. Joining myself on the wrecking crew, baby.
That's the WC wrecking crew sign. A proud defense that was embarrassed last year and has improved a lot this season. 3rd and 3. Longshore's first throw. He's low with it to Jackson, and it's incomplete. They tried to get it to the speedster, Jordan Peterson, the freshman corner on the coverage, and they'll punt.
Well, the matchup tonight when Cal has the ball is their explosiveness against the Texas A&M defense. It's coming in with a bend but don't break mentality, keeping everything in front of the defense and forcing Cal to show patience and showing an ability to drive the length of the field. Good start for A&M's defense.
So Andrew Larson will punt it away. And a whistle.
Repeat 4th down.
And the scary thing about Cal going 3 and out is that Tedford knows that A&M's about ball control. Every time they have to punt, he's aware they may not see that football for a while.
Well, that's again, that ties into what A&M likes to do with defense and keeping everything in front, force you to execute throughout 70 or 80 yards, and then they like to hold on and possess the ball and try to play keep away from an explosive Cal offense.
It's Chad Schrader, A&M receiver, who field this punt at the 33. And he'll get about 6 yards on the return. So A&M takes over for their first possession. Talked about that great Texas game that capped the season. Aggies got off to an 8-1 start, surviving some narrow escapes along the way. Disappointing losses at home to Texas Tech and Nebraska. They did lead the conference in rushing. Big story, though, has been improvement of that defense, especially the pass defense with Gary Darnell, the first-year defensive coordinator. And that was a sweet one, a long, epic march in Austin for the win against the Longhorns. It's McGee in the shotgun. And he'll pitch it out to Goodson. The speedster has the corner. Goodson, the freshman, knocked out of bounds near the Cal 43. 18 yards. could be a breakout game for him.
This could be a coming out party for Mike Goodson, a true freshman who looked at a number of schools coming out of high school, came down to USC and Texas A&M, and he wanted to stay close to home. Good job here by the quarterback McGee. They actually had a nice job of sucking in the linebacker there to the play action. Pimentel was not there to make the play.
Not an offense that Cal sees in the Pac-10. That's a big concern for the defensive coaches. Courtney Lewis, the senior's in the game, and he motions now to the near side of the formation. McGee looks left, pitch is complete. It's caught by Latydrick Riley, who knifes in for 12 yards. So let's meet the A&M offense.
All right, we'll start off with number 7, Stephen McGee. He's a quarterback in the face of Aggie land. Then we got Jaworski Lane, the J-Train. He's going to be running over some people tonight. We got Kirk Elder, all-conference offensive lineman, and Cody Wallace at center.
Schrader, the leading receiver. They spread the ball around pretty well, though. Riley with that catch, 2 plays, 2 first downs, and the Aggies are at the Bears' 30. It's Goodson back in the game. McGee keeps it. And McGee shows his burst of speed. A flag is down on the far side. Picked up 9. And we'll check and see if it stands. And the Big Ten officiating crew tonight detects a hold on the Aggies. Mickey Pimentel introducing you to the Bears defense.
Up front, we got the Incredibles, the D-line, led by Brandon Meebang, also known as Bang Bang. Then we move to the backers, led by Desmond Bishop. You know, the Bishop is going to take y'all to church, as well as A&M. And we got the DBs, primetime unit. You know, they're going to make plays all day.
See the corner, Damian Hughes there, 8 interceptions. Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year.
And maybe the best corner in all of college football with his abilities to jump on routes and make plays.
Well, the hold of the tight end Bennett pushes it back. 1st and 15 now. And this is big Jaworski Lane plowing ahead. They list him, Kirk, at 275. Coaches whispered to us he might be closer to 290.
Well, he looks it right there. He's not skipping any of the team meals. All I can tell you, Chris, is Cal's defense, and you touched on it with Bob Gregory as the defensive coordinator, it's built to defend the Pac-10's pro-style of offenses. Oregon is the closest thing that they saw all year to prepare them for this A&M attack. It's one thing to work on it for 3 or 4 weeks in practice against a scout team, but the speed and execution is a whole different thing to try to adjust to in this football game for Cal's D.
Lane got 9 on that carry, and now it's Goodson with the deep handoff, weaving his way down inside the 20, and that should be another first down.
You and I know Lee Corso, all 3 of us have really enjoyed watching Mike Goodson as a true freshman this year in college football. And I think this is an opportunity for America to realize that with all the great tailbacks returning next year, Steve Slayton, Darren McFadden, Ray Rice, put a little asterisk next to Mike Goodson's name as a true freshman. Next year with 17 starters, he has a chance to be one of the more gifted running backs in America.
Collins High School, Klein, Texas is near Houston. On first down, McGee fires complete. Touchdown! What an opening drive for the Aggies. It's Chad Schrader with the catch. Boy, they had the Bears defense off balance that whole drive, Kirk.
That was outstanding balance, mixed up the play calling, kept Cal guessing. And if you think that Stephen McGee and the A&M offense are strictly a zone option, a zone read team, they come at you in numerous different ways. Outstanding opening series there for the Aggies offense.
Matt Szymanski adds the point, 61 yards in 6 plays. Aggies find the house for their first possession. Can California answer?
Outstanding job here of 1st and 10 attacking this Cal defense. It's going to be a cover 3 defense, 3 vertical receivers, and they ultimately find Schrader, who goes right down the middle, and you can really see, and it's an outstanding position to see that the Cal defense, because of the time to throw by McGee, you can't cover all 3 receivers. They took 2 of them out of the way. Good recognition there by McGee to find a 3rd vertical receiver in Schrader and put the ball where it had to be for the touchdown.
kickoff. Knee taken, and the Bears will begin at the 20. Aggies are a great running offense when they win games, though. It's because they have a little bit of success, just a little bit, throwing the football. Let's go to Reese Davis in the studio. Reese.
All right, Chris, 4 times this season Oklahoma State lost a game on the final play, but Mike Gundy and the Cowboys won one in the waning seconds in the Petro Sun Independence Bowl against Alabama, 34-31. The Cowboys finish off a winning season at 7-6.
Reese, one of those heartbreakers for Oak State was against A&M, and Aggies rallied there. They grabbed the early lead, and the second possession for the Bears, who went 3 and out the first time around. Longshore still has it. Flips it complete. They find the fullback, who's the backup tonight, Will Tuufo, with Byron Storer out injured, stepping in tonight. Last 2 drives for the Aggies offense, including that drive for the ages in Austin, as they rallied to beat the Longhorns. 16 plays, 88 yards, almost 9 minutes. Defense had a couple of picks after that to preserve the lead, and good start tonight.
An outstanding start. It's exactly how A&M want to get the game started. But if you're Cal and you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to get something established. Good call, play action. Bootleg there, away from the pressure. 8-man front by A&M to get Longshore time to throw.
Longshore to Lynch, who has a quick burst. A flag is down on the far side. Lynch easily got the first down.
Marshall and Lynch, every flag of the field.
And the run will stand. It's offsides on the Aggies.
Number 89 on the defense. That penalty's declined. Play resulted in a first down.
Notice that Dennis Franchione was wearing a lei. This is not in Hawaii. Aaron, what's the story there?
Well, the story is they were flown in from Samoa from linebacker Misi Tupe's parents. They symbolize good luck, and it was their way of showing respect to this Aggies team and coaching staff. Coach Franchione is wearing it, as well as the coordinators.
Misi Tupe is the 24-year-old linebacker, Samoan descent. He served a Mormon mission for a couple of years. That's why he's old, but he's not the oldest linebacker they have. Longshore fires high, and making the catch is Jackson at the 45-yard line. The speedster going up high, beating Danny Gorer for the catch.
Deshaun Jackson, I'm just waiting for him to get his hands on the ball, because every time he touches the ball, number 1 in gold has a chance to get loose and take it all the way to the house. And this time Gore is there to lock him up. But keep an eye tonight. Cal will come up with unique ways to blend number 10 there, Lynch, and also Deshaun Jackson to have a chance to make big plays.
How about the respect for Jackson's speed, as Gore was way off him.
I don't blame him. If you're out there by yourself, you better give him a cushion.
This is Lynch. Up near the 50. You know, Lynch is the guy that the A&M defensive coaches really fear, because if they get the running game going, they're very tough to stop.
And I think that's the key, is Cal has got to have the ability to run Marshawn Lynch, who's the healthiest maybe that he's been all year. Deshaun Jackson, I would put it up there as maybe one of the most explosive players in the country, next to Ted Ginn Jr. and Steve Slayton. And then Desmond Bishop on the other side has got to be able to lead this Cal defense to stop an offensive scheme that they have not seen all year.
On 2nd and 6, Longshore fired. It's caught. Lavelle Hawkins inside the 40. Mark Dodge and Justin Warren combining on the stop. The 30 update. Back to Reese.
All right, Chris, if you have a left-hander in the family, have him keep on working. Barry Zito going to move across the bay, signs a 7-year, $126 million deal to pitch for the San Francisco Giants. And coming up in just a little while, top of the hour, Bob Knight will try to become the all-time wins leader in men's college basketball. It's on ESPN2, 9 Eastern against UNLV. Sports Center after the game, ESPN News constantly.
Reese should keep us posted on the General versus UNLV. Bad snap. Longshore on the bounce, collects it and fires complete. So poised by the quarterback. Robert Jordan caught the pass, but that was almost trouble as the snap came rolling back.
And Alex Mack, who had struggled way back in spring ball because he never had to work from the shotgun, and it's something that Mike Dunbar brought in, but he mastered it all year. A rare bad snap, but how about the ability by Nate Longshore not only to scoop the ball up, but to pick it up and have the ability to see a receiver and make that throw to the outside. It gives you an idea of his athletic ability.
And he's 4 for 4 in this drive. All 3 wide receivers have now gotten involved for the Bears. Jordan, Hawkins, and Jackson. All of them very talented. Tough to defend 3 receivers that good.
When again, I think it plays into what A&M is trying to do. The respect that they have of those big play receivers. They're going to back everybody off until you get inside the 20-yard line. Then they're going to try to bring some pressure. But it's all going to come down to Cal's ability to put points on the board, first down there, based on how they execute in the red zone. Something they struggled with against Stanford in their last game.
Exactly, and A&M's been a very stout defense in the red zone. California 3 and out on their first possession. The Aggies a very impressive drive, mixing the run and the pass, 61 yards to the end zone to take the lead, and now the Bears trying to respond. They're headed down into that end of the field where there are a lot of A&M fans, including the Aggie band, waving the handkerchiefs. Aggies crowding the line. And instead, Longshore will chuck it deep. Has a man, caught. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line is Craig Stevens, the tight end. A&M pays for the pressure as the tight end got free.
We just talked about as you move the ball against Texas A&M and get deeper into the territory, their tendency is to bring pressure, which they do here and from the outside. It's going to leave a one-on-one matchup right there, which is exactly what Cal wants. They'll take that matchup. It's a matter of whether or not he's going to have time to throw. He does, and Stevens is there in a mismatch to make a great play for the Cal Bears inside the 1.
First and goal. And they motion to an empty set. It's Marshawn Lynch in the slot. And Longshore keeps it. Drives ahead. No signal yet. Now it's a touchdown. Officials were deliberate, but at the bottom of the pile, Longshore did cross the plane.
Not even halfway through the first quarter, we are at the Holiday Bowl, friends. Get ready for some points, it looks like.
The vintage, huh?
Huh?
Well, don't you remember as a kid growing up watching the Holiday Bowl? It was always high score.
It's always big
points. WAC was involved.
Which is, if that happens, that plays to Cal's advantage and not Texas A&M.
Tom Schneider. Perfect with the conversion, so the Bears do answer that impressive opening drive by the Aggies, and Longshore 5 for 5 on the drive for 5 different receivers. So now the Aggies back on tack. Beautiful Hotel Del Coronado here, one of the landmarks.
ESPN College Football, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, is brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And Pontiac. Vote for the Pontiac Game-Changing Performance of the Year at ESPN.com. Keyword Pontiac. A $100,000 scholarship is on the line.
Well, one question here in San Diego. How hungry are the Golden Bears? They were talking a good game. Ominous sign early for the defense as they give up the touchdown. Kirk put a nice answering drive, and there's some spirit down in that blue and gold corner.
You know, anytime you have a long layoff, you always wonder in these bowl games how teams respond to those layoffs and who's going to come out and show the enthusiasm. Sometimes your season ends and you're looking forward to that bowl game, and other times the season ends and maybe you thought you might be going to a different bowl game, and it's hard to keep the team focused. I think from what I've seen here in these first few series for both teams, these teams look excited to be in this bowl game and have a chance to compete one last time.
McGee, the Aggie offense, back at it for their second possession. Kick drives carried Franks into the end zone. He fumbles it around and he'll take a knee. We'll see if that Bears defense can respond better. Capital One Bowl week shifts to Orlando tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's the Big Ten versus the ACC. Curtis Painter and Purdue against Sam Hollenbach. Ralph Friedgen's Maryland Terrapins.
Ralph Friedgen had an interesting year this year after their start, and of course the game that we had against West Virginia. They really rebounded nicely in conference play, a chance to get to a bowl game, and to see who's ready. I love to see the conferences match up, because what other barometer do we have other than bowl games to find out who has the best conference?
Now, the Pac-10 is a conference that's been embarrassed.
Yep.
3 losses, all of them by 17 or more points, and Cal trying to get them on the board tonight and trying to tackle big Jaworski Lane, who plows ahead for 4. Pimentel, the linebacker among the group that needed to bring him down. Talked about the slow start, and the Pac-10 folks know the rap, that they're soft, they don't play good defense. Look at the points allowed in those losses, about 40 points a game to Hawaii, BYU, and last night to Florida State.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Not at all. And you start to look at some of their other matchups, they're going to be challenged in every game that they play. It's a big game for them, for their conference.
Big 12 getting off on a good foot with Oklahoma State kicking the late field goal to beat Alabama before this game. McGee's got it. He's got the corner. And 2 runs, 2 very successful, productive gains on keepers from McGee before Hicks forces about 12 yards. He was not a running quarterback in high school, Kirk, but he's got obvious talent.
Yeah, but this is a good play to give you an indication of how confused and how different this look is. Look right at the read here. This is an opportunity to come down and make a play. And Moy has been conditioned for the last 3 weeks, quarterback, but he gets out into the game in front of this crowd, and he instinctively comes down, and McGee goes right around him for a first down.
The ball was pretty obvious that he had it right there, huh? This time they hand it off to Courtney Lewis, and the veteran playing his final college game, a guy who debuted as a freshman with a 1,000-yard season, but has had to take a back seat with the emergence of Goodson here.
Well, he is a part of their offense, but the guys who have to step up tonight, the impact players, Stephen McGee, the quarterback, combination guy, threw for over 2,000, ran for over 500 yards. Mike Goodson, I think one of the more electrifying tailbacks as a true freshman. And then Justin Warren on defense, because Cal has the ability to run the ball with Marshawn Lynch. Again, much like Cal, number 10 on defense will have to step up in Justin Warren.
It's Goodson back in the game. McGee will pitch it to him late. Not much there. Good job by the Bears defense stringing out the option. Thomas Deku forcing Goodson out after a gain of a couple.
Well, the one thing that Cal has the ability to do on defense is run. I mean, this is an athletic defense, and if you're going to slow play the option and force McGee, as they did that time, to stretch the option out, that's going to give the safeties and the linebackers enough time to run downhill and make a play. But it's the variety of option looks that I think right now are creating hesitation in this Cal defense.
It's the first time the Aggies have been forced to a 3rd down. They convert 51% on this season. 3rd and 2. You think we're going to see Lane? No, he's not in the game. So they give it to Goodson, the speedster. He spins, but is dropped for a loss. They go with quicks, not muscle on 3rd and short. And a nice play by Zach Follett on the stop. Interesting.
Yeah, it was interesting that the big guy's not in there, the J train, but I think it's interesting to watch these linebackers. This was not an option look. This time it's just an opportunity to step up and make a play and beat the man in front of you. That's a little bit more what they're familiar in doing, and now you get a chance to see one of the more gifted punt returners, if not the punt returner in the country.
Yeah, 5 touchdowns is not a typo. 18.2 per return, leads the nation. Justin Brantley, it's a fake. A&M makes the first down on the fake. We had a feeling perhaps they would pull something. Bryce Reed is the up back on the punt team, and they convert on the fake punt. Franchione hadn't done a lot of that this year, Kirk, but he loves that stuff.
Well, it's sometimes you see these kind of things in bowl games. It's a direct snap to the up back. He takes it right up the middle. Now, they told us that they had practiced around the edge, taking it around the corner. But this time, he takes it right up the middle. And the good thing about having Bryce Reed is that he's a former fullback, now playing defensive line at 300 pounds. He just barrels himself across the line for the first down.
Now the Cal defense has to dig in again. Aggies on the Bears side of the field at the 49. He's got it. Once again, gets the corner. Hicks, the safety on the stop. Every time they run an option look play, though, it's been successful.
they're just keeping them off balance, Chris. It's the two-back look that I think is the biggest difference between what they saw against Oregon and what they're seeing now against this A&M team. Watch right here, and watch how he commits down just for a second down to Goodson. And by doing that, it gives McGee enough of a window, just a little crease to be able to get around the defense and pick up 8 yards.
McGee's carried the ball for 25 yards on 3 carries so far. This time he's throwing. Short little pass in the slot is complete for a first down inside the 35 to Irvin Taylor. He's the brother of Jamar Taylor, ex-Aggie, former New York Giant.
They sprinkle in just enough of the pass to make the defense have to respect that aspect of it. Then they go back to the wheelhouse, their comfort zone, which is running the football. But Taylor is a physical receiver, and that time they had 3 receivers out, much like the touchdown, against only 2 defensive backs. It's pretty easy. Find the guy that's open. They can't cover them all with only 2 defensive backs.
There's Big Lane. First guy doesn't bring him down. He rumbles ahead for about 3. Well, you can help decide the Pontiac game-changing performance of the year, as you have all year. Vote at ESPN.com, search Pontiac. Determine which school is going to win the $100,000 General Scholarship Fund contribution courtesy of Pontiac. It's down to those 4 nominees. They were all the weekly winners. Oregon State's stand against USC. Auburn's block punt to beat the Gators. Clemson's blocked field goal by Gaines Adams against Wake Forest, and the Iowa stand are the 4 finalists. ESPN.com, search Pontiac. Lane is in there again. McGee will drop back and throw. Looks downfield. Broken up. He was looking for Schrader, and nice coverage by Sidquan Thompson. He's the guy, Kirk, that began the season picked on by Tennessee. Just a nightmarish debut against those Volunteer receivers, but he hung in there. Didn't go in the doghouse.
Yep, and imagine being a freshman walking into Neyland Stadium and having to deal with Tennessee's athletic ability, not to mention the atmosphere as a freshman. So we have to cut him a little bit of slack.
Number 77 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, second down.
And he plays in a conference where the receivers and the quarterbacks are as gifted as any conference in the country, and he kept getting challenged. And he had a very solid freshman year. Just most people who are not Cal fans remember the Tennessee game.
Yeah, when you play opposite Damian Hughes, who's got 8 interceptions and one of the best corners in the country, you're going to get picked on a lot. They see a freshman over there, and they've been going at number 5 all year long in the Pac-10. He's held up pretty well. 2nd and 17 after the holding penalty. It's Goodson motioning back next to McGee, and the quarterback's going to keep it. Bishop trying to chase him down, just got him around the ankle. Hughes there as well, and there you see the feisty side of McGee. This is how he impressed his teammates. He took a big lick against Oklahoma last year. He's such a quiet, church-going guy, minister's son, but he's on the field a competitor.
He is a fiery competitor. Again, a guy who dreamed of the opportunity to play for the Aggies his whole life, and when he gets on the field, he becomes a different guy. And that attitude is what this team has bought into and allowed them to get to this point of playing in the Holiday Bowl. Is his leadership.
What can he do on 3rd and 12? Bears don't bring pressure. Goodson slips a couple of tackles, but is stopped well short of the first down at the 32.
They are hitting down there tonight. This Cal defense, when they get a chance to zero in on a ball carrier, they don't get many opportunities. But when they do, they are bringing the heat on the A&M quarterback and the running backs. They already converted 1 4th down.
And not really in field goal range for Szymanski. It would be about a 50-yarder, so going to give it a shot on 4th and 8. And now they'll call a timeout. Again, Szymanski, the freshman, taking over duties, winning the job back before this bowl game, but Franchione going to go for it instead. We come back.
NCAA 29th Pacific Life Holiday Bowl in San Diego, California. This has truly been an incredible college football season, and tonight Pacific Life is thrilled to host two excellent teams, Pac-10's California Golden Bears and the Big 12's Texas A&M Aggies. The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl has a long-standing tradition of great matchups, exciting finishes, and high scores, earning its reputation as one of the most entertaining bowl games on the postseason schedule. So enjoy the game.
And a good start to this Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Aggies got the fake punt to prolong the drive. Now this is the 12th play of their second possession, and it's 4th and 8. Goodson is the tailback to the left of McGee.
Look for, I think, Martellus Bennett at 6'7" is a great target in this kind of situation. Top of the screen.
He's been quiet so far tonight. McGee wanted to look left. Now he's scrambling and he'll be sacked. They were all over Bennett, Kirk, and knew he would be the target there. And a nice job, Follett and New Tafisi with the stop. They give up the fake punt, but then step up after that and stop him on 4th down. So 7-7 game, minute 19 in the first quarter. Cal will take over. This game being broadcast on ESPN HD, presented by Pioneer Plasma Displays. Aggies have the ball for 6:33. Come up empty, stopped on 4th down, and now the Golden Bears will take over. Last possession, Nate Longshore very sharp. 5 completions, 5 attempts to 5 different receivers as Franchione talks it over with McGee.
It was a big, big stop for the Golden Bears here early in this game, just for nothing else. A&M's had their way. They've made some progress in trying to do some things and confusing Cal's defense. For them to come up with a stop there to get the ball back to Nate Longshore is very, very good timing on behalf of Jeff Tedford and his defense.
Longshore straight back on 1st down. Fires to a wide open Robert Jordan. Jordan turns on the burners and gets inside the 25 of the Aggies. On most teams, Jordan would be the speediest receiver. Not in this crowd with Deshaun Jackson, but he's got plenty of speed.
Well, the one thing that I found that Deshaun Jackson had to say to us is that he said, yeah, I have a lot of speed, but he said Hawk, meaning Lavelle Hawkins, has the ability to make a lot of plays too. Nice job of clearing out the receiver, and then a huge block by Craig Stevens coming across to come up with a play. But Robert Jordan that time with a nice play for the Cal Bear defense, or for the offense here.
43 yards. Longshore flips it to Lynch. He corrals it, takes a big hit, earns about 2 yards. First reception of the night for Lynch, who caught 31 passes this season. That's part of his repertoire as a well-rounded back.
He's got great versatility. He's healthy. Chris, what I've seen here in the last drive and now here these first couple plays is you're seeing, again, another big hit tonight. You're seeing a lot of those kind of hits in this game, but Cal's offensive line is starting to take control of the game, and I think they're also beneficiaries from some great play calling here from Mike Dunbar and making some adjustments for the Cal Bear offense.
Longshore 7 of 8. Gives it to Lynch. Lynch shows that burst. Very tough to tackle. Muscles down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
There's another illustration of Cal's offensive line starting to take control here. Alex Mack, the center, does a nice job. Norris Malele, the right guard, nice double team, creates a huge seam in that A&M defense, and here comes one of the more gifted backs in the country right behind that dominating offensive line of Cal's.
And Jordan Peterson, the corner, unable to make the tackle right there. So that'll be the final play of the first quarter as the Golden Bears threatening a 7-7 game here in San Diego. The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Been a really enjoyable week here in San Diego for both teams. Lots to see and do in this great vacation paradise. SeaWorld, the world-famous zoo. A Subway fresh fact. Did you know that San Diego is the 8th largest city in the U.S.? Strong naval presence here. And a pretty good sports town, a very excited football town these days. They fully expect the Chargers to be headed for Miami in the Super Bowl. This is the home of the Chargers here, Qualcomm Stadium.
Can't imagine right now. The AFC is wide open, but the Chargers look like the team to beat.
First and goal for the Bears. And hand it off to Lynch. Hammering down inside the 5. Justin Warren, number 10, meets number 10 there.
Towards the end of the first quarter, we talked about Cal starting to take over the line of scrimmage, and I think a lot of that has to do with the play calling of Mike Dunbar. They have 15 plays through this at this point, 7 runs, 8 passes, outstanding balance as far as trying to keep A&M guessing and sitting back a bit on their heels, and it's benefiting the line, and of course Marshawn Lynch, who's finding big holes to run through.
Here's a wrinkle here. Marshawn Lynch is at quarterback. Longshore split out far right. Lynch takes a direct snap, bites into the end zone, standing up, Darren McFadden style. We wondered if you might see this wrinkle. Lynch says, just give me the rock. Direct snap. I can throw it too if I need to. All running backs now want to play this position.
I'm worried Darren McFadden may have started a trend now. Everybody wants to be, remember, everybody wants to be that guy. And that's one thing that we have seen over the years. Charles Woodson started that trend way back with a corner playing some receiver. Marshawn Lynch, a direct snap, has a few words for Gore once he gets into the end zone for the touchdown.
Lynch's 9th rushing touchdown this season. Schneider on for the point. Yeah, he says, I could throw it well, but I think the idea in the direct snap is to let Lynch do what he does, which is run the football. So back-to-back touchdown drives for the Bears, and they take their first lead at 14-7. We'll check the Pacific Life game summary. Bears went 3 and out in their first possession. Aggies took it 61 yards. Efficient play by Stephen McGee, the quarterback. Long march in their next possession as well, but it came up empty, and the Bears have gotten it going. Offensive line playing well, and Longshore looking sharp.
Both teams having a lot of success in that first quarter, Chris. 7.1, and look at Cal's 9.6 per play. Per play, Cal's almost averaging a first down per play. When you see that and you think about the big picture and what we talked about coming into the game, A&M, if they're going to win, has to win time of possession by keeping the ball away from Marshawn Lynch and Deshaun Jackson and company. Hold the ball, drive the length of the field to eat some clock, and then not give up the big plays. That's A&M's plan, and if you're Cal, it's all about getting the ball back to Nate Longshore and making those big plays for big points.
Kick is driven out of the end zone. Marshawn Lynch, a junior, 31.56 rushing yards, almost 6.7 yards per carry for his career. Russell White, great former Golden Bear. He's going to chase him down. Lynch, of course, has another year of eligibility, but I think will strongly weigh coming out. And this is college finale. Would like to go out with the bag. Would like to improve his stock even more tonight. It's Justin Forsett, backfield mate. We haven't seen much of him tonight. Aggies from the 20. Lane and Goodson in the game, and they give it to Goodson. And beginning to hone in on those backs. Brandon Mebane was there quickly. Ma'afala, the defensive end, helped him as well.
Ma'afala that time got in there and had a chance to make a play earlier. He attacked down and McGee went around him. And I think besides the defensive ends and the linebackers, you really need to start seeing a push from Mebane, who's in the middle, number 52, who's had a great career as a senior for Cal, and Mulele, number 69. The guys in the middle of that defense, if they're going to slow down this option attack, they've got to get some penetration to help out the defensive ends and outside linebackers.
Mulele there, 336 pounds. Mebane, all Pac-10 first team. On the option. McGee pitches it out. It's Goodson. This time he doesn't get the corner. Driven out by Thomas Deku for a loss. Now the Bears showing some fire on defense.
Well, this is textbook on how you need to be in position to defend this option. We have not seen this from Cal the entire game. You have one defender who puts himself in a position to take away the quarterback, and another comes up to take away the pitch to fill the alley. The only chance you have as a defense is one on the quarterback, Pimenta, and then the other comes up to make the play just like that from Deku, the safety.
3rd and 9. McGee flips it complete. Big Jaworski Lane has it. Running east and west, though. Did not get the first down. Your 290 fella. Go for that marker.
Your shoulders,
go for the marker.
When you're that big, turn around and go straight. There's not a safety in America that will get in the way of you. Look at that guy.
Oh, man.
That man's coming right at you. He decides to run to the outside. I promise you, as tough as the safeties are, who wants to tackle this guy coming straight at you? When he runs to the side, go for his ankles. You got a chance, but not when he runs right at you. You gotta tuck that jersey in.
That's not the cleanest look there.
No, you gotta somebody get the word down there to tuck that in. He's killing his uni.
And now they'll call a timeout. Remember the last punt, they faked it. They didn't give Deshaun Jackson a chance to return it. First timeout spent by the Aggies in this first half. Bears about to get the football back, up by 7. Okay, Reese, thank you. Aggies got a pretty good basketball program themselves these days. They'll punt, and there is Jackson. Only need about a yard here. So the Bears with their starting defensive line, and they're very wary of perhaps another fake. Bryce Reed, the up back, taking that direct snap the first time. Feel like another gamble here?
I just want to see Deshaun Jackson return a punt.
Sort of the Cal fans.
You average 18 yards per return.
The theory is either kick it out of bounds or kick it high. That's what Franchione wants Brantley to do. He angles it, not very high. Almost bounced off the blocker, and it'll roll dead at about the 27. Aaron?
Well, Chris, as you and Kirk have been mentioning, a very physical game tonight. And in the first quarter, we saw the quarterback, Stephen McGee, getting popped by Cal's defense. This is very reminiscent of what happened last season versus Oklahoma. Now, McGee, he was leveled by a defender in that game, and he popped right up like he did right there versus Cal and had a few colorful words for the defender. Now, this is kind of out of character for McGee. He's a minister's son, very proper, very polite, but it was at that moment A&M head coach Dennis Franchione said the spirit of this team has changed.
He is a tough guy. That was Damian Hughes' pretty good hit from the corner on that play. And hand it to Lynch, running left. For about 3. Chris Harrington on the stop pass. Lynch, how many touches are you looking for tonight? Yesterday, he goes, 25 would be nice. Haven't seen that many.
Well, first he gave you the politically correct answer. He said you got to ask the coaches. Then you kept pushing. Then he said, well, you're asking me, and I wouldn't mind 25. I'll take 25 touches. Now that he's healthy, he can handle 25 touches without any problem. Poor guy played at about 75 or 80% most of the year with his ankle problem.
Yeah, Nichenko was a little bit tender at some point. Now healthy, hungry. There he is driving ahead. Justin Warren, big 242-pound linebacker, not able to stop Lynch before he crossed his first down yardage.
One thing A&M has to do tonight at some point. This is Gary Darnell, who's taken over this defense. He inherited a defense that was one of the worst in the country last year. They finished 107th in the nation, 117th in the nation in pass defense. He had to build their fragile confidence up, and he did such a good job of that. This still is not the most gifted team physically, but they play as a group, and they're being challenged tonight against this skill from Cal.
First down throw from long short. Looking deep. No receiver there. This one will be intercepted. Receiver broke the route off, and Japhus Brown, the whip safety, creates the turnover for Darnell.
Here we go. Gary Darnell's, we just talked about how his defense is going to have to make some plays to have a chance to be able to win this game. They cannot get into a shootout. They've got to play good defense, ball control offense, and eat the clock up. But this is just a mistake by a quarterback and a receiver not being on the same page. Longshore had plenty of time. It was just Lavelle Hawkins cut his route off more to the middle of the field, and it allowed a very, very easy interception that time for Brown, who's just sitting back there, almost like on a fair catch for a punt.
Second pick of the year for Brown. He's in for Brock Newton, the whip safety who is in San Diego but left back at the team hotel. Did not take care of some off-the-field business. So it's Brown, the safety tonight. A flag on the first down carry for Lane.
Offside, number 53 in the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
You know, we met yesterday with Nate Longshore, and we said, the season didn't end great for you. What happened? And he said, well, it was a number of things, but he had a look in his eye that he's matured. He's frustrated. Of course he is about throwing the pick, but he has come a long way in his sophomore year in the Pac-10, and I think that's the process. He has all the physical abilities, Chris. It's about maturing and getting more reps and learning from mistakes, and he'll go back to the drawing board after that interception.
Have a conversation with Hawkins and find out why.
Yeah, get on the same page. Yep.
There's Big Lane in motion. Goodson next to McGee on 1st and 5. And they'll throw it. The slant, nice catch, reaching back for it. Irvin Taylor. Hughes on the stop. First down for the Aggies.
It's a pretty good catch by a receiver who's 6'3" and about 230 pounds. He comes to the inside, by the way, against the most gifted corner in college football, Damian Hughes. The ball's thrown way behind, and for a big man like that to go back and make a catch to pick up a first down with the way this game has been going, might go unnoticed, but that's a big catch and a first down for the Aggies.
McGee still hasn't thrown an incompletion tonight, 5 of 5. And they'll throw it again on first down. Or at least attempt to. McGee, they'll just throw it away. So they're going against the normal patterns. Aggies throwing the football early in the downs.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball against a Pac-10 defense, you better have schemes and you better get back and get rid of the football. If you're waiting for those slow developing plays to work, you got to remember they've been going against some of the best when it comes to offensive coordinators and quarterbacks. And Martellus Bennett, who's not had a chance to get involved, I was watching him, and I think McGee happened to be looking his way as well. Too slow in his route running. He's got to get downfield to give his quarterback a chance to be able to make a play.
If they can neutralize Bennett tonight, the Bears will have done something very important on defense. So on 2nd and 10, McGee fires complete. And there he is making his first catch of the night, fighting it near the 40. 6'7", kind of Tony Gonzalez-like, like the former Bear, the NFL great, a basketball player. A colorful guy, wants to give it a go. Eventually you're going to have to give up hoops to be the best I can be in football. Might be this year. He plans to play basketball, but plans can change. He acknowledges that.
Yeah, if he has an idea of trying to go on and play at the next level, you got to believe that football is his ticket, and then eventually he'll have to cut ties from basketball. But it's hard for a guy who has such love and passion for a sport to let go.
You see they put him in the slot on 3rd and 4. And they flip it out. Caught. This is Latedrick Riley for a first down as he evades the tackler and gets to the 45. Desmond Bishop finally there. Riley, another former high school quarterback. He's a 234-pounder. They got a lot of ex-quarterbacks playing receiver here. They're just good athletes.
Yeah, good athletes and athletes with size. We saw Taylor earlier on this drive, number 2 at 6'3", 230 pounds. And this time, Chris Riley, you mentioned his size, another big receiver. The ball, by the way, perfectly thrown to the outside that allowed him to make the catch and then get upfield, break a tackle, and pick up another 7 yards.
It's the first time the Aggies had converted on 3rd down tonight. And they give it off to Goodson. Whistle before the snap. And flag is down.
Snap. False start. Number 54 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Aaron, what was the pregame message to the Aggies tonight?
Well, Chris, the message before the Aggies defense were able to recover that interception was dig deep. A lot like the message Gary Darnell told his troops back in August on a very hot day when the offense was getting the best of them. That was the week of the U.S. Open. He told his troops, go ahead, take a look at the leaderboard. See who is leading now, but keep notice of who will take the lead later. Of course, Tiger Woods came back to win it. That was his message to his guys. Dig deep, you can pull it out.
It's not about Thursday in golf, it's about Sunday, and he believes it's about the fourth quarter in football. Of course, Tiger Woods happens to be the most talented golfer ever. You can use it as an example.
Yeah, but I really think it's about him trying to get a point across. The whole team, I think, has had to buy into playing a full 4 quarters, finding a way to win games. I mean, think about how close some of their games have been this year and the way they've been able to find unique ways to hold on and win football games. And of all the games that stood out to me in talking to their players and coaches, the Army game of all games was a turning point in their season when they had a goal line stand to show them how important it is to play and not give up for 4 quarters.
McGee fires in a diving attempt, incomplete on the sidelines. It was Sidquan Thompson defending under freshman E.J. Shankle. It'll be 3rd and 14. Yeah, sometimes it's a great win when you avoid what would have been a terrible loss to Army on the home field, making that defensive stand. Army had a 1st and goal at the 2, and had to make 3 stops down there to preserve the win. It would have been some serious heat on this coaching staff if they lost that game.
You know, here on 3rd down, we've seen the 3 wide receiver look, the trips look, work for them against a couple defensive backs to the bottom of the screen. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see the quarterback on 3rd and long here, maybe even move a little to his right to get the ball over here to these 3 receivers.
He's got 5 receivers here. It's Goodson who was split far to the left. And McGee buying time, will flip it all the way back across the field, and a diving catch by Latydrick Riley for a 1st down. You said it. He rolled all the way to the sideline before looking back up.
Wow, that's a play. Again, you might see in a video game or in high school football. You don't see this very often in college football, where a quarterback has time to roll all the way over to his right. And then for whatever reason, this is just a good job of improvising and even have the ability to locate the receiver, Riley, and puts the ball away from the defender to give Riley at least a chance to lay out and make a catch. A huge conversion there by Stephen McGee and the Aggies.
And Riley, 3 catches tonight, only 19 on the season. Option pitch to Goodson, who fumbles it. Ball still loose. Goodson able to recover it near the sideline. Desmond Bishop was in the neighborhood. The freshman pounced on the ball.
Anytime you run option football, there's always the risk on the pitch relationship between a quarterback and a tailback, and especially into the boundary where the pitch is going to come quick. It may be in front of you, it may be behind you. In this case, it's behind the running back, Mike Goodson, and I think for a second he peeked up and took his eyes off the ball. It wasn't a great pitch, but still he had 2 hands on the ball. He's got to secure the ball before he worries about getting up.
I put that one on the quarterback.
That's coming.
I put that one on the quarterback.
You got 2 hands on it. You got to catch it.
That was a terrible pitch.
Catch the ball.
And there's Big Lane barreling down inside the 25. That's what you're supposed to do, big fella. North-south. Don't try to dance around, make a guy miss. Just go straight ahead.
My guess is Coach Fran had probably a little conversation with J-Train from the last time he was out on the field and had a catch on 3rd down and ran towards the sideline instead of squaring his shoulders like this and running right through the defense. I'm telling you, he is a reminds me a lot of Jerome Bettis late in his career. Not early at Notre Dame, but late in his career.
He's got a few extra biscuits that Jerome ever had. He's not in the game on 3rd and 3. It's Goodson. And now McGee calls time as the play clock was winding down. Very important play for the Aggies, down by a touchdown as we approach halftime here in San Diego. Have another donut.
Tuck it in, boy.
ESPN College Football, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, is brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And Radio Shack, for all the accessories you need to go with the holiday gifts you got. Get to your neighborhood Radio Shack.
Wintry scene here in San Diego, where the Aggies are trying to drive for a tying touchdown. They're on a 5-minute march here. They've converted a couple of times on third down. Now they face a 3rd and 3. We talked about big Jaworski Lane. Here's Chad Schrader, his teammate on the big fella.
Man, the guy's big, but he's got feet like you've never seen on a big man. And you know, just this whole year, he's come up with one big play after another. 275 is pretty generous for him, but I mean, if they put it on paper, you know, you gotta go with it. I know as far as his weight, as long as he keeps running like he does, he can eat as many Twinkies as he wants to.
He does have good feet. He just needs to move him north and south. And he's in there now. What initially wasn't in there before the timeout. Now they have Lane on 3rd.
On a serious note, that's what makes him able to be so successful, is how quick his feet happen to be, along with the vision.
And Chris Alexander, an excellent fullback, lined up in front of Lane in the I formation. 3 tight ends. And they give it to the fullback, and you see the muscle of Alexander as well. He's another big guy who's a good athlete with good hands, pretty good feet, and quickness, and he was not going to get the first down upon initial contact, but he spins down to the 20, Kurt.
I just love to see that. You have no idea how a play like that can affect the huddle and affect the attitude of a football team in a game like this, where it's a hard fight, and a guy gives single effort like that to go right through to the defensive lineman there from Cal.
Big Tafisi and Meehan had a chance. They're 3 for 3 on 3rd down in this drive now. It's Goodson back in the game. They try the fullback Alexander again. This time he's not able to break the tackle of Desmond Bishop. Got him around the leg.
One of the things that I think A&M is probably trying to set up here as they continue to try to run into the middle and run into the middle. They're trying to get the safeties from Cal and the linebackers from Cal to overcommit towards the option. Remember, you have a quarterback in McGee who's athletic enough to run around the corner, and also a quarterback who can fake into the middle, get the safeties up, and then look for a tight end behind those safeties who start to walk up.
Saw Bishop there. He led the Pac-10 in tackles. First team all-conference. McGee pressured initially, shakes free, and now takes a big shot at the 20, and that was the Bishop. Bringing the lumber on McGee, who is a tough guy, but you don't want to take too many of those hits.
Well, that's the trump card. You see, we just saw Alexander give great effort. Well, here's the trump card from Bishop. He came right back and said, here's a little bit extra effort for you. Right through, textbook hit by a linebacker in the open field against a quarterback. Linebackers dream about hits like that on quarterbacks.
That time McGee did not pop up and talk trash.
No. Which way's the huddle?
3rd and 8. It's Franks who motions behind him and gets the pitch. Trying to turn the corner. Check it, it's Pierre Brown, number 6. He took it, and Bishop once again shows the wheels patrolling to the sideline there to stop short of the first down.
Well, Bishop, there's a reason he led not only Cal, but the entire Pac-10 in tackles. And it's because of his nose for the football, his instincts. He's got it all, and he's also been around for a number of years. He has played in so many games for this Cal team, and he is a fun guy to watch because of the emotion that he brings to the table.
And now Szymanski, who by kicking better in practice, won back the starting job, but is just 1 of 4 this season, will try it from 32 yards. And the hometown kid from College Station knocks it through. And he's back within 4 points as we approach halftime here. And that's the Lane Newman, the displaced kicker. He's going a long march, but settle for the Szymanski field goal. The Bears have 2:08 to work with in the first half of the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Well, tomorrow afternoon, a couple more bowl games on ESPN as Capital One Bowl week continues. At noon, Clemson and Kentucky at the Gaylord Hotel's Music City Bowl. Head ball coach Steve Spurrier against Kevin Cobb, the Houston quarterback. That's Friday at 4:30 Eastern time. Pretty good first half here.
Yeah, great first half. Cal's offense, we've only seen 19 plays for them in the first half. We're getting close to 2 minutes to go here in the half. And the one thing we talked about at the beginning of the game is for A&M to compete, they have to, against a more athletic team, win the time of possession. That last drive was 14 plays, 7 minutes, 41 seconds. Look at it for the first half so far. That's the only way they can stay in this game, is to win that very important stat and try to keep the explosiveness of Cal's offense on the sideline.
First time tonight we'll have a kickoff return. Justin Forsett, they fake the reverse. Forsett still has it. A flag is down as he crosses the 40-yard line. So they fake a trickery. But this looks like a penalty on the return team to erase that 37-yard return. It will come back. Well, that changed Tedford's philosophy here. They would have had great field position. You see the fake handoff to Hughes. Fooled some of the Aggies, but the penalty.
Holding number 23 on the return team. 10-yard penalties from the spot of the fall. First down.
So set an excellent field position. They'll march him back inside the 20, and now with a $1:57 to go, what will the Bears do?
Well, let's see how Nate Longshore bounces back. The last time they were out on the field after looking pretty good for a couple drives, breakdown between one of his receivers, Lavelle Hawkins. He threw an interception. There was an obvious mental error between he and the receiver. They're going to go and try to get points on the board. Let's see how Longshore and the receivers respond to that last time out.
Longshore flips it back. This is Deshaun Jackson. Jackson shows the acceleration. And boy, your heart just stops when he gets the football every time. You saw the quick burst. He's across the 30. I'll check in with Reese. Get a preview at halftime. Reese.
All right, Chris, we will see if it is indeed Bob's night on the Smith-Barney halftime report. Also, Oklahoma State able to stem the tide in the Independence Bowl, and they did it in thrilling fashion at the end. And a giant acquisition in baseball for San Francisco. See you in a bit.
Thank you, Reese. Robert Jordan with the catch on the far sideline for about 7 yards. And an update on that Rutgers game, which is going on as well. Our friends from the State University of New Jersey playing their ball game tonight in Texas.
I think the Reds, Cincinnati Reds, forgot to get the memo that the hot stove things have started.
It's possible to spend some money.
Yeah, you got to go out and try to acquire some pitching, I think. But it's good to see that the Giants got Barry Zito. Cost a few dollars there, it looks like.
It takes a few dollars to get good pitching. The Reds need to, figure it out. Lynch still dancing, but he'll lose yardage. It's a great job initially by Michael Bennett, the defensive end, to kind of blow the play up, and then Melvin Bullitt there to finish him off.
Interesting call that time by Cal with the clock running and with the success of the first play.
14, and no urgency right now.
Not at all. 14. They had 14 yards there on the first play by Deshaun Jackson, and that time running the ball.
Aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology. Now inside of a minute, and again, after the loss, they kind of dawdled in the huddle. So on 3rd and 6, Longshore steps up, fires downfield, looking for Jackson, caught out of bounds. The guy known for his straight-ahead speed, showing he can get up in the air and showing good hands there as he beats Japhus Brown.
Well, Deshaun Jackson is not only one of the more talented punt returners, he is an explosive wide receiver, and he had one guy underneath in the corner. He got off of the jam, put himself in a great position to be able to make the play, gets his foot down right in front of Japhus Brown for the first down. And a big throw by Longshore there to get across midfield.
Longshore looking back near side for Hawkins. Hawkins doesn't try to get out of bounds. Muscles down to the 35. It'll be a first down. Gore and Bullitt combining on the stop. And the clock stopped at 41 seconds.
You said, what do you think they'll do? And you think about the receivers that they have in Jackson, Jordan, and Hawkins. All of these guys running a sub 4.4. You'd want to keep attacking, obviously.
Longshore flips it incomplete. At the time they were all over Hawkins. They would have had more time if they hadn't been They're kind of lollygagging after that loss by Lynch.
Yep. Still have 2 timeouts here. These receivers, even some of the shorter throws, if they find a little bit of an opening in that secondary, they can split the secondary and pick up huge yards.
Jackson, so dangerous. You can see that the first minute he takes off. He's moving near top speed. Longshore, pressure up the middle, finds Lynch. He dropped it. Marshawn Lynch would have been well short of the first down anyway. Couldn't hold on to it. Thornton there pressuring Longshore.
What A&M has to do to respect that speed of those receivers is they're dropping 2 safeties back to cover half of the field, leaving the middle of the field open. The linebackers are dropping way back. So one of the things that Cal is trying to do is let them drop way back, and there's a nice big opening in front of those linebackers to get the ball to Marshawn Lynch. That time he dropped the ball.
Tom Schneider has good range. They could try a field goal from where they are right now. On 3rd and 10, Longshore flips it over the middle this time. Lynch makes the catch, fighting forward, will not get first down yardage. Took a big lick there from Mark Dodge, former member of the U.S. Army, 25-year-old linebacker, stopping Lynch at the 25. Timeout call with 19 seconds. We'll see what the Bears like to do when we come back.
You see a place that's alive with purpose and passion. You see a place inspired by a long tradition of untraditional excellence. You see a place built by the people, for the people of California, the nation, and the world. What do you see? You see Berkeley.
19 seconds before halftime here in San Diego. Bears face a 4th and 1 at the Aggie 25-yard line, and they will send out the field goal team. It's Tom Schneider, junior out of Walnut Creek, who was 14 of 18 on the season. Schneider from 42 yards, misses it, did not hit it very well. Tedford electing to try for the 3 and not go for it on 4th and short. She was surprised. They didn't get it.
The ball just came off flat.
Mike Black is our spotter, a former Boise State kicker. That's tough to explain because this guy has 55, 60-yard range. Blackie, what happened there? Did he hit the ground too far in front of the ball? The plant foot issue? Okay. We get Mike on the telestration here. You got an ex-college kicker standing next to you. You ask him things like that. So they don't get the 3, but they do have the 4-point lead at halftime. There's Mike Black, our guy. So the lights go out here in San Diego for the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl halftime show. Send it back to Reese Davis and company. It's the Smith Barney halftime report with the score. California 14 and Texas A&M 10. Welcome back to San Diego for the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, an event that's known for festive and elaborate halftime shows. It's the Bears 14-10 over the Texas A&M Aggies. Let's get a taste of the performance from both bands tonight. Also featured Herb Street's favorite, Deep Purple. Smoke on the water, fire in the sky. We'll come back, give you a taste of the fireworks display. Pretty good fireworks on the field in the first half. Bears lead it by 4.
Welcome back to the 29th Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Tonight's champion will take home a unique trophy. The Pacific Life Holiday Bowl Championship Trophy is a beautiful bronze sculpture of humpback whales created by noted artist Randy Puckett. At Pacific Life, these whales represent strength and endurance, which are vital qualities for success on any field. I hope you enjoy watching the second half of the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl.
And we'll see who's got the strength and endurance for the second half of the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. And then we'll get the football to begin this third quarter. Our Pacific Life game summary. Total of 426 yards between these two teams, Kurt.
We have seen some offense.
McGee fires complete. Touchdown. What an opening drive for the Aggies. It's Chad Schrader with the catch. And Longshore keeps it. Drives ahead. Now it's a touchdown. Lynch takes a direct snap, fights into the end zone, standing up, Darren McFadden style. And the hometown kid from College Station knocks it through. Bears missed a field goal at the end of the first half, so the margin is still 4. We talked about the contrast of styles coming into this game. A&M wants to hold on to the football, grind you down. Cal wants to use the speed and score quickly. It's pretty much what we got.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the adjustments. Both these coaching staffs have shown that ability throughout most of their season. So who can make the right adjustments? I think the first thing, if you're Cal, the one thing that I think they have got to do a better job of in the second half is getting Marshawn Lynch more involved in the offense to set up the big playability of the passing game. What I've seen at this point is Marshawn Lynch only 45 yards on 10 carries, and A&M is sitting most of their safeties back deep. Therefore, you have to be able to run into a too-high safety look and then get back to the big playability of Deshaun Jackson and those great receivers that Nate Longshore has. If you're Texas A&M, you got to go back to what you've done all year. Find a way to control the clock with the ball, control the offensive line, be able to take control up front, and that way, Chris, you get this game to where it's very, very close. And then A&M has shown an ability for most part this year. When the game is close and it's on the line late, they find ways to win the games, and time of possession, very important for them to have a chance to win this game.
And Cal has not been a good second half team at all. For a team that won 9 games, they're only outscoring their opponents by 2 points after halftime. They've been a very good first half team, has Tedford's crew, but the problem has been after halftime when teams adjust a little bit. So the Aggies will get the ball to start this third quarter, but Schneider will make them start from the 20 by booting it pretty deep. Let's go down to Aaron Andrews for a report on what the coaches had to say at the break.
Chris, for Jeff Tedford and the California Bears, he said he likes what his wide receivers are doing, but he looks to utilize the running game more here in the second half. But he said the biggest problem is we haven't even been able to get the ball. When I talked to Aggies head coach Dennis Franchione about that, he said winning the time of possession, that is our game, and that is what I stressed during halftime. Be patient.
So we just took,
yeah, Herb Street had it. You don't really need to talk to the coaches. He's wired in.
Went down there at halftime, came back up, ready to go.
Zervin Taylor in motion. A little shovel pass, so that's the freshman, E.J. Schenkel, who didn't have a touch all season, but before this game, the coaches wanted to kind of get the young guy from Lufkin, Texas involved. He picks up 11 yards there.
It's a play that you see from most spread teams, the ability to get downfield with the option, but then a little bit of a wrinkle. It's kind of a triple option where you have Schenkel coming underneath, and it's just a simple shovel pass, and Schenkel did a good job to secure the ball, and then what a burst to get upfield. You can see that speed that the coach has told us about.
He's more of a running back at high school, playing receiver here. And McGee keeps it, goes straight ahead for about 5. It's always interesting in a bowl game when you see a guy that really hadn't done a lot all year, but then becomes more involved in a team's game plan with the extra days of preparation.
And we talked a lot about this, Chris, in the first half, is how are the defensive ends from Cal, how will they play this option look? A little bit of confusion there. It's a good job by Tafisi of confusing McGee. He almost handed it, but Tafisi went wide with the ball carrier. And that time McGee pulled it and picked up 4 or 5 yards there on first down.
Goodson and Lane straddling the quarterback, and it's Goodson. Turns on the jets and gets out near midfield, and again a little confusion in the Cal defense. Thompson the corner there on the tackle, but a big gain.
Variety of this offense creates the indecision. I thought that Cal, as the first half went on, made the adjustments and I think found a bit of a comfort zone and starting to make the plays that they had to against this style of offense that they have not seen much of. But here in these first 2 or 3 plays, A&M going back with the adjustments they've made, mixing in not only the run and the pass, Chris, but mixing in different kinds of runs to confuse Cal.
First down. McGee has still got it. Pitches to Goodson. Chasing him down, unable to get around the corner. Mickey Pimentel. Goodson had a fast start in this game, Kirk, but since then, Cal's done a good job of limiting the danger when this speedster gets the ball.
Yeah, his first couple carries, he got out into the open field and made some plays, and he has the ability. He's one of the A&M players that if you give him enough of a crease, he can take it all the way. And as a young back, I think the thing that he has shown is, like most young backs, he has grown and matured and shown more patience and understanding of the blocking schemes, which helps you to know when to kind of get wide and when to get upfield.
On the reverse, they pitch it to Schrader, the high school quarterback, looking to throw it. But is pressured, doesn't get rid of it, and takes a big loss as Brandon Hampton, the Rover, was there. We talked about all the ex-high school quarterbacks who play receiver for A&M. Schrader is one of them. But they weren't fooled, the Bears.
Well, this is a play that you practice over and over, but one of the things that I wonder how often coaches work on this is if it's not there, the rule is once you get outside of the tackle, right to the outside of that hash, at this point, just throw it away. Throw the football away, and his inexperience in being in a position to throw the football, he ends up eating it and costing his team about 10 yards.
So easy in college to throw the ball away. You don't get a grounding penalty if you're outside the tackle there, as long as you reach the line of scrimmage. Now McGee is in a deep hole here, trying to buy some time. Flips it downfield. He overthrew Riley. Desmond Bishop there to hit him again after the throw.
Bishop was closing in on McGee. McGee, once he got out and broke contain, Chris, he had plenty of time, but on 3rd and long, it's a matter of time till a linebacker came up and made a play and ended up being Bishop to force a throw there before McGee had an open receiver.
Promising start to the drive, but the trick play backfires and dooms the drive, and now Deshaun Jackson, who hasn't had a chance yet to return a punt, is deep. Justin Brantley kicks it off the side of his foot, a terrible kick. And the Jackson factor being so concerned about kicking away from him, not giving him a chance to reach the house with a return, playing in the mind of the punter, and the Bears will take over at the A&M 40. 0 net yards on the punt. Wow. Sometimes you can intimidate by just being back there deep. The Bears in great position to build on a 4-point lead. Beautiful night for flying here in San Diego. Our aerial coverage brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology. Oh, from the blimp, that punt had to look just as ugly as it did from down here. Justin Brantley averages 45.3 per punt this season. That was a 0-yarder. Shank off the outside of his foot. Again, probably mindful.
Just the fear of Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah. Well, he's been told kick it high or kick it out of bounds. That'll ruin an average in a hurry. 0 yards. So the Bears at the 41. Lynch is the deep back and takes the handoff. Marshawn Lynch trying the left side. Short gain.
Cal's offensive line really asserted themselves in about the second or third series of the football game, and I think the balanced play calling, moving people around, confusing Texas A&M. We really saw the guys up front from Cal take control, giving long short time and opening up some seams for Lynch. I think the ball is backed into the court of that offensive line in the running game of the Cal Bears.
Longshore, the one mistake in the first half, the miscommunication with Hawkins, resulting in the interception. Lynch again on 2nd and 6. Hammering down inside the 30 for a first down before Mark Dodge was there on the stop.
Just talked about this offensive line, and if they're going to put two safeties back, watch the block right here by the left guard, Eric Robertson. He gets involved along with Alex Mack, the center. It's a double team. You get it blocked by the tight end downfield, Craig Stevens, and nobody puts a hand on Marshawn Lynch until he's about 5 or 7 yards downfield.
There's Dodge on the stop, the 25-year-old ex-member of the U.S. Army. Now it's Justin Forsett in the game, but he's a blocker for Longshore, who fires downfield, wide open to Deshaun Jackson inside the 2. So the dangerous All-American returner getting more involved as a receiver tonight.
At the line, do you touch him, Gore? Does anybody put a hand on Deshaun Jackson to slow him down before he gets into the teeth of that defense? It's imperative against an explosive receiver. At least get a hand on him, slow him down, and slow the rhythm down between the quarterback and a wide receiver. That time, they didn't even put a hand on him. Deshaun Jackson gets a free release, and he's downfield for a big play.
4 for 72 yards and a 1st and goal for the Bears. It's Lynch somersaulting near the goal line. Now they lose the ball to the Aggies have it. There's going to be a conference here with this Big Ten crew. Melvin Bullitt came out with the football as Lynch went airborne near the goal line. And a whole bunch of players from both sides weighing in with their opinions. Been no signal yet. And they have the first use of the replay. Now they signal Aggie football. So Lynch, did he lose control before he got to the goal line? That's close from that angle.
Well, see, I think he may have broken the plane in the air before he came down and lost the football.
Right.
I think when he went airborne right there, possession of the ball, he's across the line.
I think so too.
And then when he came down into the end zone, he fumbled right here. That's a touchdown now. Right now, it's a touchdown.
They're showing.
And once he comes down, the ball comes loose.
Yeah, and the Bear fans are going nuts because they've just shown that angle on the board here. It will be reviewed.
It's definitely a touchdown. It's not about where he comes down. It's about where he is as far as the imaginary line of the plane of the end zone. You take that up vertically, he went right through that with his right arm with the ball inside it for a first down. Right here, he's already scored a touchdown. And then he carries himself into the end zone and the ball comes loose.
And to be fair, it's very tough for a side judge. This camera's a lot higher than the ground level that the side judge has. He couldn't see the football, but that's what the value of replay is, and we're expecting this will be overturned. First time the replay has come into effect tonight with this Big Ten crew.
He's a yard into the end zone. Right there.
Yep.
After review, there's indisputable video evidence that the runner was in possession of the ball when it broke the plane of the end zone. As a result,
so it's a touchdown for Lynch, who celebrates. And there's a good use of technology and a good job by the replay booth.
Outstanding job by the Big Ten crew. They're on hand here tonight. Not only did they get the call right, they did it in pretty good time to be able to make the call, give Cal the touchdown. Perfectly done.
Now Tom Schneider on for the conversion. A premature celebration. That Aggie band was fired up. Now it's the Cal band playing the fight song as the Bears take advantage of that 0-yard punt, the shank, and march 41 yards for a touchdown that puts them up by 11. And now there's real urgency, the Aggie offense, when they get the football back. Well, you need a little help from the guys upstairs in the replay booth, but Marshawn Lynch in the end zone.
5-5, get off the ground, big man.
ESPN College Football, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, is brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. Acura Advance, and Verizon Wireless.
Bears have their biggest lead now at 21-10 as Marshawn Lynch does break the plane before he lost the football. A reversal from the replay crew, and then a little celebration that may have cost Lynch some playing time. Goes up big Norris Malele.
Malele gets up there, but he comes down, Chris. You got to wonder if that's an injury that he sustained when he's trying to give his boy the celebration.
Not Grammatica style.
Hopefully it's not that to that level. That was serious. Ridiculous, but serious.
Seeing Grammatica, the kicker, went up, celebrated, and made a field goal. He ripped his knee, I think, right, for the whole season.
It's like a 15-yard field goal.
Well, Friday night, a couple of schools meet on the gridiron for the first time ever. Curtis Painter and the Boilermakers take on Sam Hollenbach and the Maryland Terrapins. Capital One Bowl week continues with the Champ Sports Bowl in Orlando. ESPN HD, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Big Ten.
Oh, it's
getting involved now.
It's another game where your conference bragging rights are on the line. ACC had a great year this year going up against the Big Ten.
Cal trying to give the Pac-10 its first win of the bowl season. And McGee has it, flips it short, caught by Goodson, who takes a lick. Mickey Pimentel hammering the freshman after a short gain. Cal's defense has responded in the second half, Kirk. Some big hits.
Here, this hit right here is one of the biggest we've seen so far. That's a heavy collision.
A little blood in the nose.
Brings a little bit of the blood out. His helmet came straight down, right at contact. Chris, this is a big drive for the A&M offense and for the Cal defense.
2nd and 3. They give it to Lane. And there's the quick feet of the big guy and the obvious power as he fights for a first down across the 30. Bishop and Bernard Hicks combining, but you saw the quick little feet.
Quick feet, and recommendation is you do not come in high, Mr. Bernard Hicks. And you have 290-plus pounds coming at you. Good feet, keeping his balance, and here comes Hicks in high.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you want to come down in this section down here, maybe even lower. Another guy's coming in high. They can't bring him down, and Bishop, he finally throws him out of bounds.
It's Pimentel getting attended to at cut. Well done. So starting strong side linebacker has to step out, and Lane motions back behind McGee. They fake it to him. McGee, nobody there, flips it short. The outlet man was Lane on the shovel pass, and he'll pick up about 4. Good downfield coverage. He wanted to look deep to Schrader, but nobody opened.
The big man's in there just to pick up a block if anybody's coming. He was actually pretty heads-up play by the quarterback and by J-Train just to be able to make a catch there.
They're fudging on the 270.
Alan Cannon's one of the best SIDs in the business, and I'm going to get all over AC for that 274.
He just goes what the team gives him. He's not man of the scale.
You guys are killing. You guys are killing it.
Stop for a loss. Desmond Bishop wraps him up and drops him for a loss. Aaron, what do you think of old number 11 there?
Well, how about this for the J Train? When he was born, it was a month premature. His mother told him when he was first born, everyone could fit them in the inside of their hand. That ain't happening now, guys.
And maybe he thinks wearing number 11 will be slimming. You know, the vertical number.
Well, he's still a young buck. He's only a sophomore, Sean. I'm anxious to see his next couple of years.
19 rushing touchdowns.
Behind Ian Johnson of Boise State.
But on this important drive, it's now 3rd and 9. Goodson split far to the right. Bears bring only 4. A flag is down as McGee throws over the middle, almost intercepted. Having a chance there was the linebacker who dropped deep into coverage, but there's a flag anyway on the play.
Holding number 70 on the offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
That big hit we saw earlier. They had about 8 trainers, 3 doctors, everybody over on Pimentel to see if he's going to be okay. Major collision with Mike Goodson, and even though he made a good play, he came up in the short end as far as getting the cut.
Yeah, with the Aggie offense not able to stop the bleeding here. And now the defense already down by 11, will have to step up. And after the 0-yard punt, Brantley gets a low kick away. Again, it's too short for Deshaun Jackson to return it. And it rolls dead at the 28. So the A&M defense will have to respond, try to get the football back. Bears take over up by 11 midway 3rd quarter. Bears take over up 21-10 in the 3rd quarter of the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Marshawn Lynch scoring from a yard out the last time. Saturday, a bowl doubleheader begins at 4:30 Eastern Time. Colt McCoy back healthy for the Longhorns. They'll take on Iowa. So the Alamo Bowl at 4:30 Eastern Time. Followed at 8 Eastern by Matt Stafford and Georgia against Virginia Tech. Alamo Bowl and the Chick-fil-A Bowl Saturday on ESPN, part of Capital One Bowl week. And the Aggies get the football back. Hand it to Lynch. Now try to work the running game here. Gain of about 2. Back to Reese for a 30-30 update.
All right, Chris, it looks as if Bob Knight is going to have to wait until another night to get victory number 880. Over on ESPN2, his Red Raiders trailing UNLV by 18, less than 10 minutes to go. Knight takes on New Mexico on New Year's Day at noon on ESPN2 to try to pass Dean Smith on the all-time wins list. And Barry Zito has a new deal, 7 years, $126 million. The erstwhile A's pitcher is now a San Francisco Giant. Sports Center after the game and ESPN News Wisconsin.
Thanks. That's when you can make a bunch more money. You don't really have to move. Go across the bay. Jackson on the little screen. Darts ahead near first down yardage at the 38. He hasn't had the real huge play tonight, Kirk, but he's dangerous.
Every time, Chris, he catches a ball, he reminds me so much of Teddy Gint Jr. at Ohio State. That if you find a tunnel screen or a bubble screen or a reverse, or he can turn a 5-yard hitch, one shake, and he can go 80 yards downfield. And every time he catches it, you just hold your breath wondering if A&M's going to be able to make a play to be able to stop it.
You say he hasn't done a whole lot in terms of big plays, averaging 16 yards a catch. You know, 5 of his catches have been for first downs. This is Lynch. Breaks a tackle and gets to the 45 of the Aggies.
The reason I said at halftime I thought that you might see Cal go more to Marshawn Lynch is because of A&M's defensive style, keeping 2 safeties back deep. When you do that, you've got the numbers to run the football up front with the offensive line and a lead back, getting a big block upfield. And then again, with Marshawn Lynch healthy, he has the similar abilities as Deshaun Jackson. He's just bigger and stronger, but he hits a crease just as quick. And then you go to the running game, you get him to overcommit to that running game, and then Jeff Tedford will take his shots downfield.
Hawkins in motion to the far side. It's Forsett, the back. And it's Hawkins collecting the pass. Short gain. Cyril Obizor on the stop.
Reason A&M has to play that style of defense, Chris, as Gary Darnell mentioned to us, is they're just not quite ready to play a lot of man-to-man with their corners and walk those safeties up into the box the way you see most defenses today doing it. Most defenses today are willing to take the risk to load up the box to stop the run and try to get the pressure to the quarterback before they get burnt on the outside in the perimeter game. At this point, with the youth and inexperience at corner, they don't have that ability. They have to be more conservative.
This is Forsett. He's a pretty good number 2 back. Justin Forsett out inside the 15. Forced out by the corner, Keith Brown, after 28 yards, and Forsett now gets involved. He's the other half of the 1-2 punch.
Well, not to be redundant, Chris, but when you have, look how deep the defensive backs are. He'll end up coming up, but you have this box area that you have got to be able to win if you're the Cal offensive line. Good blocks upfield, a great block by the fullback, and now you got Forsett, who has similar attributes as Lynch, getting to the second level and bursting to the outside. Now they're starting to run the football.
Will Taufa'o, that backup fullback, taking over for the injured Byron Storer with that nice block tonight. Now Longshore flips it short to Lynch over the middle in traffic. Able to muscle down inside the 10 before Mark Dodge made the stop.
When you have a balanced offensive attack, where you want to run the football and throw the football equally well, it all is predicated upon your ability to run the football. And that's why it's so important for Cal and for Marshawn Lynch and Justin Forsett when he gets there, because everything else works off of that ability to run the ball.
So crucial, if they can keep him to a field goal here, it's still a 2-score game.
Yeah.
If Cal can make it 28-10, the odds get very long for Franchione's team. Diving to the 5 is Lynch. Set up the 3rd and short.
The coaches are getting on Marshawn Lynch a little bit from the sideline, saying to keep your legs up, keep your knees up, and get through that tackle. And you're walking into the end zone. Marshawn Lynch, I'm sure, a little disappointed with himself. Stumbled there and came up short not only of the end zone, but also the first down to bring up 3rd down.
16 rushes, a total of 19 touches so far for Lynch. He's caught 3 passes. 3rd and 2. Aggies defense desperately needing to step up right here. And they do stop Lynch short of a first down. Kellen Hurd, defensive tackle, blow the play up. Not going to get the first down. The Bears players signaling they want to go for it here.
A&M talked a lot to us about resolve and how proud they are of their team and the way they've been able to find ways to win games and play hard for 4 quarters and play for each other. All the intangibles that are so important in team and playing as a team. And now it comes down to 4th and 1 in their bowl game. Can they do it one more time to keep themselves in this game?
4 on the play clock. Hawkins in motion. Longshore's going to throw. Got a man. Touchdown. Lavelle Hawkins, who came in motion, was open. And a dagger delivered by the Golden Bears.
It's a nice rub route here by Deshaun Jackson. He gets right in the way of Bullitt. Bullitt has no way of getting out to the outside to stop Hawkins, and it's set up there because Deshaun Jackson's used as a decoy, rubbing the defense and preventing Melvin Bullitt having any opportunity to get out to make a play to prevent Hawkins from getting into the end zone. It's almost like Jeff Tedford was waiting to call that play for that kind of situation.
Schneider makes the margin 18. That was what you'd call an illegal play, but not a pick, because he didn't really try to block the defender. Just kind of got in his way a little bit. Bears convert on 4th down, scoring a touchdown. Aggies in a deep hole now. Of course, became globally famous with those 2 giant panda cubs, the first 2 born in the U.S. What were their names? Remember that? Is it Ling Ling?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Didn't get a
Somebody out
chance
there
to get over
listening
there.
knows for sure.
Oh, yeah. Didn't get a chance to take in SeaWorld either. Shamu again.
There's lots to take in here.
Yeah, there is.
We took in the Gaslamp Quarter. That was our tourist attraction.
You, as always, made a great selection in dinner. I don't know how you pick them.
You told me you liked sushi. I didn't know you meant only California rolls. Oh, man, you can't take the Ohio out of them. Kickoff is bobbled. Frank's trying to make a play here, and he will not get back to the 20-yard line.
Kerry Franks takes the ball 1 yard deep in the end zone for the Aggies.
See, they have so many great things on the menu here. You have so many fresh sushi selections, and you just want the California roll. I tried to order I tried to order you some nice cooked black cod. You didn't want that either.
No. The shrimp or the tempura was good. I appreciated that. That was nice. As long as it has the rice around it.
I'm sure you're riveted out there as we talk about our dinner here. More to the point.
There we go. My kids would love that.
How do you go from a sushi conversation to showing that? That's not tasteful. First and 10 for the Aggies, now down 18. An offense that's built on methodical marches now has to try to score quickly here. Goodson has speed, but the Bears have been all over the young guy since the early going in this game, and really the success on the running plays have been more in the option.
I've been really impressed with this Cal defense. We talked coming into the game how Stephen McGee was going to present an offense that was going to challenge them because they just weren't used to seeing it. He has been hit. First Hughes, then we've seen Bishop a number of times slam him to the ground. He's probably got a little bit of a headache already. He's going to need the T3s later tonight and in the morning to help with some of the pain that he's been inflicted upon.
He's a guy who's been playing through pain and injury. He had a concussion, played through that. He's been playing through bumps and bruises throughout his football life in high school and in college. That's Bennett, the tight end. They've been honing in on him all night. Bishop was watching him closely along with Royal Williams.
And that's my point, Chris. We talked throughout most of the first half about Cal and Bob Gregory, the defensive coordinator. What a great challenge it was going to be for them because they just haven't seen this A&M style. And to be honest, watching these two teams on tape, I thought there'd be an advantage for Texas A&M in the trenches as far as being physical and winning the battle up front. But for the most part, it's been Cal that set the tone up front, and they have been the aggressor attacking A&M.
Yeah, 13 plays, 36 yards, Kirk, after halftime. And on 3rd and long, McGee buying time to his left, flips it high. It's caught for a first down. Irvin Taylor climbed the ladder, and crucial conversion out at the 30-yard line. So having to work hard just to get 5-6 yards now.
They have to work hard because the route is fairly simple. You've got two receivers, and they're running right into the teeth of the defense. I mean, the defense, they're sitting there. There's nowhere to go with the football. Now you have McGee, who's able to improvise and at least get the ball thrown out there to Taylor, who makes another great catch for a first down.
Should be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Woodson goes in motion. Flip it short. The freshman Schenkel again, working toward the sidelines. Forced out by Pimentel. They will get another snap here in the quarter after about a 5-yard gain.
Playing in the Pac-10, where Cal's defense was challenged almost every week against offenses that know how to throw the football, they ended up finishing, allowing 245 yards a game. That's not great. That's just through the air. But against this A&M style of passing offense, when you know they have to throw, you can pin your ears back. You have to wonder if the Aggies will be able to have much success against a defense that has given up some big plays through the air.
Keep it on the ground to Goodson. He's able to spin for a first down out near the 45 before Bishop stopped him. And that will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Aggies have had some dramatic comebacks and some rallies, but from 18 down, it'll be a tall order here in the 4th quarter. Plus, they're having a hard time stopping Cal's offense. Very efficient performance through 3 quarters by the Bears and quarterback Nate Longshore. He's 17 of 21. Has thrown a touchdown. Lynch has scored 2 touchdowns. Heading to the 4th quarter. It's the Aggies down 28-10. So a pair of third-quarter touchdowns here at the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, building an 18-point lead for Cal. We talked about this being a kind of a difficult team to read. The Golden Bears shared the Pac-10 championship with USC. Of course, the Trojans won that one head-to-head in the Coliseum, pulling away after trailing at halftime. Bears will still get rings in their first piece of any kind of conference title since '75, and they're very proud of that. It is a co-championship, even though USC fans will feel like they were the real winners of the conference when they won head-to-head.
Yeah, sure.
Cal trying to get the Pac-10 in the W column here in the bowl season. McGee firing downfield. There's a collision and a flag as they were defending Martellus Bennett. Sidquan Thompson, the corner, got tangled up with the big guy, the obvious flag.
Good matchup there to find your big tight end in a position to go up against a freshman corner. Tight end, of course, 6'7", and the corner, Sidquan Thompson, only 5'11", 180 pounds.
Defense. 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Still been a frustrating night for Bennett, though. They have not been able to involve the tight end the way they wanted to in the offense. Tedford, remember, he took over a team that was 1-10 in Tom Homo's final year. Now in his 5th year at Cal, he has made them a force on the recruiting trail. Season tickets went from about 16,000 his first year to over 40,000. We want to know why a coach can be worth a couple $1 million to a program, just in terms of pure business standpoint?
Well, when he came in, they hadn't had even a winning season in 8 years. And for the last 5 years, winning seasons and a chance to get a co-championship. And similar to Greg Schiano saying, I have a dream we can win a championship. Well, this year he has proof now with a ring on his finger.
Well, fake for McGee. Wants to throw deep. Now pulls the trigger downfield, looking for Bennett, overthrown. It's pretty well defended by Warrell Williams, the linebacker. Now they're trying to find Bennett. Aaron?
Chris, to Adam, what you were saying about Jeff Tedford tonight, the last game for his very first recruiting class. Coach Tedford telling us it's been an emotional couple of weeks for him and those players because they know this is it. And like you said, they committed to Cal when they were 1-10. A lot of guys like offensive lineman Eric Robinson telling me the question they got, why are you going there? This is why he came here, he told me.
Robinson sat next to Aaron at the luncheon. Took all the food she didn't want. Big guy. McGee has a man at the 15-yard line. Had lots of time there, and that's Joey Thomas, the backup tight end, making his first catch of the night.
And again, a good job of improvising there by McGee.
So the Aggies in business here. This is the Holiday Bowl luncheon. Both bands doing a good job. Full house, about 2,000 people. Sorry you missed that, Kirk. You had another obligation. There's Aaron interviewing the Texas A&M players. They asked her to
There's the star of the
picture.
show, boys. The star of the show. Coming in there.
Whatever. More in motion on first down, and they'll give it to Big Lane, who stutter steps and now tries to bulldoze ahead, get about 4. Next year we get you to the luncheon.
You enjoy the luncheons. It's your chance to shine, kid. Here comes the big fella. Coming in. People bouncing off of him. They're coming in high. I'm telling you, get low. Better get low.
It's the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl trophy. Whale that is featured so much in their advertising.
McGee's leading a nice drive, but got to look at the big picture. A little bit more urgency by the Aggies in and out of the huddle. They've got to look at the big picture. It's not just about this drive.
It's Lane again, hammering straight ahead, breaks the tackle. Lisbon Bishop holding on to the big fella, dragging him down.
In fact, I'm a little bit surprised they're not almost in a 2-minute mode.
Yeah.
You know, just if you still have an opportunity to try to compete and win this game, you're into the 4th quarter, and even though you're looking at 13 minutes, you got 3 possessions. You've got to be able to try to punch in a touchdown here and then get the ball back, which has been a problem for the Aggies defense in the second half.
First, they got to convert this 3rd down. And they give it off tailback. He was able to fight down near first down yardage. Desmond Bishop held him short. Alexander did not get the first down, and now he'll have to use more time trying to convert this crucial 4th and 1.
You gotta love Desmond Bishop and the way he comes in and attacks. Marshawn Lynch, number 10 on the offense, been making plays tonight. Of course, been making plays all year, wearing number 10. And then you have number 10 on the other side, Desmond Bishop, who leads the Pac-10 in tackles and has been relentless all over the field tonight for this Cal-Bear defense.
4th and 1. And a whistle before the snap. Lane got the carry. This would be a crucial mistake on the Aggies.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 71 on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 4th down.
Now you got to kick a field goal, don't you?
It's their best offensive lineman. He's steady, Yemi Babalola, but the crucial penalty makes it 4th and 6. Do you really kick a field goal to go down 15 here?
Just to try to get points and get it to a 2-possession game. You're going to go for the touchdown. They want to try it while they're this close, try to get points on the board, more than just a field goal. They want the touchdown now. The 4th and 6, boy, it's going to be tough to convert against this Cal defense.
Just a crushing mistake, that false start penalty. McGee flushed, fires, incomplete, overthrew Schrader. And the Bears defense, which stopped him on 3rd and 2. And the penalty sets him back, and 5 minutes used on that 11-play drive, and they come up empty.
And look who gets in to get the pressure. A name that we've not called at all is Brandon Mebane. Gets through there to force the quarterback out of the pocket, and now the Aggies are in a position down 18 inside 12 minutes. It's not looking good.
The Aggies faithful have enjoyed their stay here in San Diego. They've been a lot more visible than the Cal fans, and they will never leave no matter what the score is. They will never leave. 77-0. One time they beat by Oklahoma. They were still in the stands there on the road in Norman.
That's the best.
And Pacific Life game summary through 3+ quarters.
Here's the amazing thing is time of possession. That's exactly what Texas A&M needed to do, wanted to do, and did. And they just cannot stop the big playability of Cal's offense.
The Bears have only converted 1 of 4 on 3rd down. Yet after halftime, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for California. And that's Lynch just muscling ahead for 9. If any chance, the Aggies almost need a turnover here. A very quick change in possession. Talked about the fact that this is a young A&M team. Vast majority of these players back next season. And Franchione once again doing a good job so far on the recruiting trail. Not a ton of talent on this team, that's for sure. If you look at the recent NFL drafts, not loaded with A&M players at all. In fact, 4 out of 5 years they really haven't had a lot of all-conference first-team guys. But that's really stunning. As Lynch spurts ahead for a first down near the 35. You think back to the days of, Quentin Coriat, Dat Wynn, Keith Mitchell, Ray Mickens, Aaron Glenn, great defensive players, and then they always had guys, All-American, certainly All-Conference. That really hasn't been the case in recent years.
No, there's been a shortcoming of talent. I think that's the big thing that Dennis Franchione is trying to turn around and try to get this heading in the right direction, and he's doing that.
But it's tough sledding in the Big 12 South. The conference gets wrapped a lot when you're competing with Oklahoma and Texas for players and on the field as well. Franchione in non-conference has to go to Miami early next season. Longshore tries to flip it to the fullback, incomplete. It'll be one of the more intriguing non-conference games next September as the Hurricanes usher in the Randy Shannon era and welcome the Aggies down to Miami. Now we're looking ahead to next year. Not even to the other bowl games.
I'll make a prediction here with 10:23 to go. Marshawn Lynch, who just went over 100 yards and has been a huge factor here in the second half as we expected. This is usually when a game gets to this point where a defense lets their guard down just for a bit. and that's when a tailback can explode for some big gains along with Forsett back there.
And it's Forsett who has the ball this time, and he turns it up just like you called it. Breaks a tackle. Forsett down inside the 30. You've seen this game before. Exactly.
You and I watch quite a bit of football, and when you watch a defense who's overachieving, working hard as a group, we've talked a lot about this boxed area. Watch Cal's offensive line get off the ball and the push that they get, and you're dealing with a defense that's starting to get worn down physically and emotionally. Poor tackling at that time by the safety, Devin Gregg, and a huge gain by Forsett all the way down to the 25.
Justin's only had 2 carries tonight, but he's got 69 yards. You may get the bulk of the work here. Fourth quarter. Forsett that time wrapped up by Matt Featherston. Still got 5 yards. California, we said, very talented team, but a kind of an inscrutable team. Not even Tedford and his staff. They're around this team every day, Kirk, and they have a very hard time figuring out when they're ready to play, when they're not ready to play. They weren't sure. Tedford said before the year he didn't really know.
What's interesting to me is this is a team that got to 9 wins this year, but because they lost 2 of their last 3, there's a bad feeling around this program and their fan base, who had such great expectations. They had motivation coming into this game to win, to be able to get to that 10-win mark.
This is Lynch trying to turn the quarter, hammering away, still running hard. First down near the 10. And the loyal fan base of the Aggies huddled together. The Bears faithful, you said they were deflated by those losses to Arizona and SC. But this really is a revival. You have Pappy Waldorf's teams in the late 40s and 50s, the Thunder teams in the 30s, the Wonder teams back in the 20s were all very successful eras. Obviously, different climate right now, but 42-20 for Tedford, taking over a 1-10 team. They're not going anywhere as long as he stays there, and he says he's staying there. Forsett lets it in the flat. It's down near the 5.
Yeah, we're going to have to think about it. We're going to at least have to get to a break to kind of brainstorm on this.
You want a nickname?
To come up with a nickname for this era.
Teddy's Bears, you don't like that too? It's kind of basic.
Kim Belton liked that. He's our fine producer this year. He likes Teddy Bears.
I don't know if it'll
stick. To think about that, huh?
I don't know if that's going to stick.
We have to think about that because they've earned, this era has earned a nickname. You have 5 straight years of winning football in Berkeley. And you look at a team that's returning next year, it's going to be 6 years of winning football. This program is established at this point.
Forsett dropped the football, able to fall on it at the 8. A little excited when he saw the potential to score on that carry. He'll certainly be back next year. We don't know about Marshawn Lynch, who hasn't announced his intentions as a junior. Deshaun Jackson is back. The receivers,
all the receivers,
Jordan and Hawkins are juniors. You figure they're back. Longshore is a sophomore, so another year in the system for Longshore, improving his decision making. It ought to be a very potent offense next year.
The offense is going to put up points. It's going to be a matter of whether or not they can replace 6 defensive starters, and especially the leader Desmond Bishop, who's been the heart and soul of this defense for the last few years.
On 3rd and 6. Longshore rolls, flips it short, and hammering straight ahead is Eric Began, the tight end, making his first catch of the night, but he stopped short of the first down by Jafis Brown. Let's see if Tedford sends out the field goal team. Apparently that is the decision as Brown is down on the field. This is Brown going low. Now he did what you asked him to do, but he got that head in there on the 250-pound tight end.
Yeah, but you don't want to lower your head like that.
No.
It's dangerous.
So Cal will face a 4th down here, and they sent the kicker out to try to extend this to a 21-point lead. When you look and see what happened so far in the bowl season with the Pac-10 being embarrassed in the first 3 games, apparently going to get a win tonight for Cal. When you look ahead to USC Michigan, anything that you've seen so far in the bowl season give you a lean one way or the other on the Trojans against the Wolverines?
I
think that you'll be doing.
Yeah, I'll be calling that game, so I'm not going to make any predictions.
I know that. I'm not asking
establish that right now. But I do think that there's been so much talk about which team's going to be able to shake off the disappointment at the end of the year. By now, that's old news. It's more about now having a chance to live out a dream. If you grow up in the Pac-10 or the Big Ten, you dream about getting to the Rose Bowl and playing in a game where you have these 2 schools playing in the Rose Bowl. That's a dream for those players. So they'll be there. They'll be playing their best. I think it comes down to whether or not USC can protect their quarterback, John David Booty, against the pass rush of Michigan's. And I think Michigan has an offense that people underestimate because of they don't always put the offense in 5th gear unless they really respect the opponent. And in this case, they will definitely respect the opponent in USC. So I think it'll be one of the better bowl games.
Good news, Japhus Brown, the Aggie defensive back, is up and walking off on the field. I think it's going to be interesting to see it's easy for players to say how excited they are to be in a bowl game, and the Rose Bowl is weird to think of it as a consolation prize, but until you actually step on the field, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty tough thing for Michigan the way the season ended. I think those guys believing they're the second best team.
Totally disagree. I think for a Big Ten team, when you step out of the locker room and you see the mountains and you see what you've thought about your whole career,
well, they played there a lot, though.
That will snap out of it and get them to be excited. And I think both teams are going to be excited to play in that game.
21-yard field goal for Schneider, knocks it through. No, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying they're not going to be excited. I still think that they have a hard time escaping how the season ended with the loss at Ohio State, maybe. We'll find out. Should be a great matchup. 21-point lead midway 4th quarter for the Bears.
ESPN College Football, the Pacific Life Holiday Bowl, is brought to you by Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed. And Olivia, redefining high def.
And again, our aerial coverage brought to you by the Goodyear tires, featuring triple tread technology. Bears going 84 yards in 10 plays to tack on the Schneider field goal, build it to a 31-10 lead. The 3 possessions after halftime, all producing points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
I always feel like when I watch these bowl games after a 3 or 4 week layoff, a lot of it is about who prepares better and who puts their team in a position emotionally and physically better is going to ultimately win the game. But it also has a lot to do with who's hungrier, which team is more excited and has more to prove by coming in after such a long layoff into a bowl game. And I thought early both these teams came out and wanted to prove something. It wasn't as if one of the teams didn't show up and they just weren't there emotionally. Both these teams showed up, but ultimately at the end, Cal just had too much athletic ability for this A&M team tonight.
So bring out the kick return, finds a little crease and gets out near the 30. Let's check in with the developing basketball story today. Back to Reese in the studio.
All right, Chris, UNLV and Texas Tech. Curtis Terry finding Wendell White for the jam for Vegas, and Bob Knight still sitting on 879. 74-66 the final. You'll see Knight go for 880 New Year's Day at high noon on ESPN2 against New Mexico.
Klein Kruger's got a pretty nice ball club in Vegas as they go to Lubbock and win. That'll make the A&M fans who are sad about their football loss feel a little bit better tonight. Tech losing basketball. McGee flips it out. Goodson once again popped by Deku. You know, California told us we consider the personality of our defense to be physical. I know the rest of the country knocks the Pac-10. They've been physical tonight.
There have been some big hits put on the tailback tonight, Mike Goodson, and the quarterback, Stephen McGee. And this time, DeCoute lowers the boom again on the true freshman.
He's holding on to that left knee. Deku is a junior safety.
I don't think it's the initial contact. It's the way he tries to recover. Boom, from the hit. He gets his left leg down right there, and then it gets caught underneath.
And keep an eye on the left knee.
It's like he tries to balance himself to try to brace for the hit.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good looking right there. That hurts anybody that's ever had any kind of a knee injury just to watch that. Goodson, the promising freshman we thought might potentially have kind of a breakout game tonight, has the speed to take it the distance anytime he touches it, and will be a huge part of this A&M offense in years to come. As Reese told you, the next attempt, Bob Knight to pass Dean Smith. New Year's Day, noon Eastern time against the Lobos.
It's good to see that Goodson is up, and you just wonder how serious that injury is for the talented freshman back.
His night apparently is over. And the silver lining is if you do hurt yourself, you've got a lot of time to rehab it before next season. 62 yards rushing on 13 carries for the freshman tonight.
You're right, though. Cal's defense has been out to prove that the Big 12 may have a reputation of being more physical, but they have come out tonight and made a statement for their team, their defense, and their conference that they play a physical brand of defense as well.
It's a first down to the 40-yard line to Tadrick Riley. Pimentel, the guy who's been bloodied and patched up and back in there, active tonight at linebacker with the stop. Schrader open over the middle inside the 45. Hughes on the stop.
There were two areas I wanted to see how Cal would perform in this game, and I thought ultimately, if you went by the way the season unfolded, would decide whether or not they could win this game. One was running the football and how successful they could be at running the football, and the other one was would they turn the ball over. I'll show you something right after this play.
McGee hops the pass on the grass to Schrader.
If you look at their 12 games in the regular season, look at their three losses. They only rushed for almost 90 yards a game. Really struggled on the ball, and they turned the ball over. -6 turnover margin. Their 9 wins, you can see it's been very productive, not only running the football, but they protected the ball, and they've been able to create turnovers. And tonight, very much in line with the other 9 wins. 185 yards rushing, +1 on a turnover margin. And the reason that's so important for this team, it's important for every team, but this is a team that runs kind of that pro-style offense. And that's why the running game for them sets everything else up. If they can't run the football, they struggle, which is what happened in their 3 losses.
At the 100-yard game from Marshawn Lynch, who's got a 111. Zach Follett with the stop on Howard Morrow. Loses a couple yards.
Have you come up with a name yet for this era for Jeff Tedford?
Not much for naming eras. I mean, you know, it was a nice idea in the 20s there with the wonder years and all that stuff. I don't know if in the 2000s we need to, you know, come up with names for eras. McGee dancing, was across the line of scrimmage, ran back toward the line of scrimmage. Flags come down. I don't think he got back across the line.
How about
can't do that.
How about Berkeley Believers? Because this is Jeff Tedford's first recruiting class.
Right.
They decided to come when this program was losing 9 or 10 games every year. They committed as freshmen when he had a vision, and they believed in Jeff Tedford. How about Berkeley Believers in honor of the senior class that are
I like that.
stepping out. You like
it's
that?
a nice phrase. I don't know about naming the era after it. You want me to come up with a Grantland Rice phrase here on the spot? I don't know. I mean, 42-20. It's a hell of a nice turnaround from where they were before he got there. But I don't know that it's an era.
It's not yet. Not yet.
Well, I mean, they haven't dominated their own conference. So, I mean, the guys from South Central have done that in recent years.
Yeah.
They shared it with USC this year. USC's not going anywhere.
No. Not at all.
See the illegal pass on McGee when marched the ball back.
When 5 years ago you win one game.
Oh, I know. I think the renaissance has been remarkable.
Yeah.
On 4th and 16 now. Last hope for Texas A&M. Got 5 receivers. Now rushing 3. McGee still has to step up and buy time. Fires downfield and nobody there. Over the head of Riley. Damian Hughes was the nearest man, and the Bears will take over. You said it, they're going to have to replace some important cogs on defense next year. It's going to be a high-scoring Cal team in 2007. See if Gregory can get the defense to step up. They will not be as highly ranked in the preseason next year as they were this year, though.
To go the distance in life. By Pacific Life. For insurance, annuities, and investments, choose Pacific Life, the power to help you succeed.
Happiness on the Cal bench. Up by 21 here. 5:06 to play, and the senior Joe Ayoub will spell Longshore at quarterback. Ayoub will finish out his career in this game. He was the guy that had to step in and start a year ago when Longshore was knocked out in the season opener. Only attempted 26 passes this season as a backup. And it's Forsett bursting ahead for about 8.
Again,
good night for that guy, Longshore, huh?
Great to see Nate Longshore bounce back. 19 of 24, 235 yards tonight. It's a young man that struggled down the stretch, didn't complete 50% of his passes in the last 3 games. A lot of that had to do with they were playing better defenses. He also had 5 interceptions in that span, so it's great to see. It helps his confidence as a young quarterback getting ready for next year.
And now they've got Steve Levy, the 3rd-string quarterback in. He hands off to Forsett. We'll see if Tedford kind of alternates the 2 seniors each play here, give them each a chance to get some playing time in the final game of their careers. Yeah, Ayoub will go back in now as they
in honor of Steve Spurrier. Rotating the quarterbacks every play here.
Right, but Steve did it in a big game, close game.
First snap.
Not the 21-point game. But it's a nice gesture by Tedford. You know, you're a quarterback that's been, basically a career backup. Ayoub, as we said, had some action last year, but nice to finish it out.
Nice gestures, even have a play action pass opportunity too.
Forsett bursting through the middle, breaking a tackle. Justin Forsett applies the stiff arm and fights down inside the 10.
From the time I said that Cal's going to be able to really start to run the football, I think they're averaging about, 18 to 20 yards a carry. I mean, they have just taken over and killed the will of the Texas A&M defense. The offensive line tonight, if you're going to give a game ball, it should go to Cal's entire offensive line. This is an offensive line that lost 3 starters coming into this year to the NFL. They were one of the best offensive lines protecting the quarterback in the country. They only allowed 13 sacks coming into tonight's game, but they have shown a physical side tonight and blowing people off the ball.
Did it again, and Forsett scores standing up. A pair of 100-yard rushers tonight as Forsett joins Marshawn Lynch. And the woodshed beatdown is on here in the late going in San Diego. This was all about the guys up front you talked about, though. Number 20 just walks in.
Walks in. The will has been completely killed on Texas A&M. That's a pretty good hole. With all due respect to Forsett, he's happy to see his quarterbacks lead a nice touchdown drive.
That's 3 touchdowns and a field goal in the 4 possessions after halftime for the Bears. Good story in that offensive line, Kirk, is Andrew Cameron was the offensive tackle. Had so many injury problems in his career, basically thought that even though he had a year left, he was going to going to hang it up. Then he had a change of heart after spring ball, said he would miss too much the camaraderie with these guys. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to give it a go, and had to earn back his starting job, and now will finish up his college career finally with a big old smile on his face as the big guys up front do their job and wear down the Aggies. It's sweet for the seniors, as Aaron talked about. This is the first recruiting class he was able to convince to buy into his vision, have some faith that a season like this was possible. There's Began, Eric Began, the senior tight end, with a big hug for Tedford. Boy, you have a real feel for a recruiting class when they were your first as a head coach, and they did buy in and believe in you, and it's paid off.
They believed in a vision, and it reminds me so much of Greg Schiano trying to sell his program and saying, guys, one day we're going to compete for championships here, after not having a lot of success or hardly any success in years at Rutgers, and they bought in and obviously had a great run this year. 5 years ago was the same thing for Jeff Tedford, and I know Cal has a lot more history than Rutgers, but still, it was that kind of sell after 8 straight losing seasons to say, hey guys, forget going to USC or UCLA, come to school at Cal.
Big hit on the kickoff return as the Bears coverage team is still playing hard, and they're plotting the Gatorade bath. That's Ayub, the backup quarterback, with a hand on it. Our All-State good hands play of the game. It's nice Deshaun Jackson catch, hauling it in, setting up a touchdown as he got out at the 1. And he does have good hands, and in their hands is the bucket. Working their way down. Got 10 minutes inside. They fumbled the bucket. How do you fumble the bucket there?
It's about the only thing that has not gone right tonight for Cal.
Joe Ayub, the backup quarterback, supposed to have good hands here. They got in position
they
here.
They gave it to the lineman. That's the problem. The lineman,
miscommunication there.
Mulele and Craig Stevens, the tight end, got involved there. And B-Gun, the tight end.
Miscommunication on the
now he's looking around.
Bucket.
He's looking around.
No mistake there.
That's beautiful. Now the coaches, all of them down there, have their heads on a swivel.
Tedford escaped.
He's going to look like he played. He's covered in mud. When you meet Jeff Tedford, he's the kind of guy that, if you have a son that's going to play college ball, he has that kind of personality where you'd want him to go play for a guy like Jeff Tedford. Just a class act.
Aggies trying to finish strong here, but the hugs continue on the sideline. There's Lynch with the football.
Chris, you
contemplating his future.
You said you kind of feel, and I think most people feel, that Marshawn Lynch, this will be the last game that he plays in a Cal uniform. And we thought coming in we might see Mike Goodson have that coming out game tonight, and seeing Justin Forsett all year and seeing what he did tonight, it gives you the vision of, if Lynch does leave, that number 20, Justin Forsett, will probably get his chance to take the baton and see what he can do in this offense.
He can do plenty.
Yeah. They've had a nice run here of tailbacks that have come through Cal in recent years that have played for Jeff Tedford.
It's a pro-style offense. Get you ready. Ty Brannion, backup quarterback for A&M, getting some snaps here late in this game. Like the two Cal guys, he's a senior finishing up his career. That's not what he had in mind, as it's intercepted by Eddie Young there. So Brannion fired in the flats, and the ball taken down to the 5-yard line. Let's see Forsett again. That's fun for a guy who didn't get a lot of chance to see the field. Eddie Young celebrating over there.
It is celebration time for this Cal program, and boy, it is tough to come in for Ty Brannon, even though he is known for his ability to throw the ball. You come into a game that's already out of hand, 38-10, and you throw the ball right into the chest of a linebacker.
Now it's Steve Levy trotting out on the field. Quarterback. They fumble the snap. Bears get it back. It's a nice gesture to get seniors in there and quarterback to finish the career out, but it's turned into a comedy of errors here. Sports Center to follow the game. Bob Knight coming up short in the bid to pass Dean Smith tonight. Barry Zito, somewhat of a change of address. Same metropolitan area.
Chris, we talked throughout the entire night. Cal's 9-3 coming into this game. Loses 2 of their last 3 at Arizona and at USC. This is an important game for them. You're wondering why they're not taking a knee. They don't like the bad taste around this program. They want to keep going here.
AU back in. He takes that snap and hands it off. A short gain by Brian Holley.
It's amazing to think you can get to 9 wins after 5 years ago winning 1 game. And somehow, because the expectations after the 9 games, you're undefeated in conference play, going to Arizona with USC the next week. Boom, boom, you lose them both, and then you struggle against Stanford. And I sense that a lot of people are kind of let down who follow this Cal team, and I think that was their motivation coming into this game. Hey guys, we won 9 games, a share of the conference championship. Let's go finish this thing off the right way and play for a purpose in the bowl game.
3rd and goal. They cap it with a touchdown run. It's Holley getting in the end zone. Check it. Ryan Shutt, tailback. They empty the roster. 44-10. They were embarrassed in that loss to Texas Tech. Their defense especially. That was a pretty good defensive team in Cal in 2004. They could not stop air raid offense of the Red Raiders that night. The defense, a terrific job here.
Yeah, an interesting discussion there with the quarterback, Levy. Did you see that?
I wasn't sure what Tedford's point was.
Tedford's, I don't know. It looked like he was upset that they went in to score. I think he was thinking.
You said, what's he doing? You could read his lips there. I think he wanted to take a knee, maybe.
I think he's upset. He's upset that they put the score in. I mean, when you grab a quarterback by the face mask like that, you're trying to get into his skull. And you can see Levy's kind of.
Ryan Shutt scored in the run. Franchione and Tedford are very tight. They're good buddies. They haven't collided very often on opposite sidelines, but he has a lot of respect for Franchione. I don't think he liked the fact that it's been perceived that Cal tried for the extra touchdown there. I don't think Franchione would be upset about that.
If there's anything to be upset about, it's that Levy was giving it back a little bit. You know?
As a senior, he's going out the door. He wants to be a broadcaster. There's already a guy in this business named Steve Levy, but Levy is a broadcast major who wants to get into this business.
First lesson is listen to your boss in any profession.
That's coming from you?
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
All right.
Oh my.
There's the short kick taken by the Aggies. This will be a frustrating night for them. They jump to the early lead, kind of imposing themselves on this Cal defense, but boy, the Bears buttoned it up, adjusted. The Aggie defense, they were the crew worn down, not what they expected at all.
First time all year I've actually enjoyed the new rule with the clock. The clock is running before we even have a snap.
This will be the final play of this Pacific Life Holiday Bowl. Branyan flips it. It's complete. Taking a big hit right there tomorrow, and that is it. The Bears answer questions about their hunger, their motivation. And they right the wrong of 2 years ago. And they were beaten by Texas Tech, handling Texas A&M tonight. 45-10. It was 31-0 in the second half for Cal. We talked about they had not been a very good second half team this season. Kirk, they found a way tonight.
One first thing that Jeff Tedford pulled Dennis Franchione in was to say, hey, I really did not intend to run this thing up. And you could almost see Coach Fran saying, just shaking his head off, saying, hey, it's part of the game.
And Aaron is with Coach Tedford.
Coach, just wanted to ask you, we saw you grab Steve Levy. What were you relaying to him there?
Well, he was instructed to take a knee. And, it was time to take a knee and get out of the game. And I have a lot of respect for Fran and Texas A&M. And he chose to do something on his own. They wanted to do something for the tailback who never gets in. But still, that's, I just wish that wouldn't happen.
Well, on a happier note, congratulations on the win, and appropriately your first recruiting class helping you get 10th win of the season. Sum up what this class has meant to you.
Just very proud of them. They're the ones who took a leap of faith. Thank you. They're the ones who took a leap of faith to come here. When we first got here, they were 1-10 at the time. They really built a strong foundation for this program. They've won a lot of games. I couldn't be prouder of this group.
Any particular moment with this class you'll always remember?
Well, the whole time, to tell you the truth. There's no particular moment. Obviously, this is a great moment here. We had a 10-win season this year. We had the 10-win season 2 years ago. They've had a lot of wins, and they've done it with class and pride.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So despite the little insubordination at the end of the game, smiles for Jeff Tedford. It is a 10-win season for the Pac-10 co-champions. 45-10 over Texas A&M. Sports Center coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, for our entire crew here in San Diego. I'm Chris Fowler. Have a good evening. Sports Center right now.